Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the 2023 B season of the OSCA Weekend Woodsman Series. And tonight, we're here live at the beautiful Indianapolis Motor Speedway here in the virtual Speedway, Indiana. And of course, welcome back, everyone. I am your host, Michael Goodman, and along with me, he took off his driver's suit. He's putting on. I'm hoping you're wearing at least a nice suit here tonight, Adam. But Adam Peeler, glad to have you up here in the booth here tonight. And we kick off this new season. We have the high horsepower Gen 6 cars. So I'm thinking this season, and even here tonight at Indianapolis, it should be pretty exciting.
Man, I'm super excited for this. I'm not wearing a suit. Sorry. I didn't get the memo, so
I'm not wearing anything.
Blame the producers. Oh, well, he's not. Okay. Well, I'm at least not doing that. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to this, man. High horsepower. I got in these cars a little bit yesterday, and getting into that entry, you've got to really commit, and you're flying when you get down there. So, I'm looking forward to it, and I'm happy to be here and get this started.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one tonight. We do, of course, as every kind of turn of the season, we got new faces, some familiar faces in new places, and we'll go figure all that out as we go along. And hey, speaking of or is he here for his pick? I'll say Matthew, our other co-host, for a pick. And the other mysterious thing we got going on here, Adam, we were talking to this right before we went live. We have a mystery driver, almost like a Stig, but we'll get him to spill the beans. But Kevin Malone is his code name right now from The Office, and we'll be seeing who this guy is. This mystery driver should be a fun one to figure out. Oh, there he is, spilling the bean.
There it is. I mean, we have our very own Stig. I mean, what is cooler than that? Like, nobody knows. The only person who knows is Vic, who runs this entire thing. Not a single other person.
And the number 30
knows.
Yeah,
obviously, and the guy driving.
I hope he knows who he is. Otherwise, we got bigger concerns on our hands there.
But I get this right. It's going to be somebody new every week, though, right? That's what I've heard.
Or at least just potentially
yes.
having you for
Yeah, it's going to be some. No, but there will not be a repeat driver in this car throughout the season. At least that's the plan right now.
All right, so yeah, fun little thing to add to the OSCA game here. I'm looking forward to trying to figure out who this is, and we'll get that further into the broadcast. But as far as this new season is concerned, Adam, you know, Nick Indelicato won the championship last year, and of course now with that was the newer Gen 6 cars, we can say the lower pack racing car. Now we're in this high horsepower, you know, the Monte Carlo, or not Monte Carlo, the Chevrolet SS's and the Ford Fusions. This championship could once again kind of be up for grabs with the new wrinkle with this new car.
Yeah, I think when you add in the new car and then you add in the amount of driver talent with the amount of 4-car teams that we have, I think the championship's up for grabs. I think the team championship is even up for grabs. I think you're going to have more than just South Shore and Shift really racing for it this year. I could see 3 to 4, maybe 5 teams having a real good shot at it. The driver lineup, I mean, me and Matthew did it on Media Day. We counted upwards of 20 plus drivers that we all felt like could either win or have won in OSCA before. So the competitive level for this year is through the roof, and I'm actually kind of excited to be up here watching it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a fun one to tune in to watch, and as the cars get ready for some group qualifying here. See a couple of cars going out on the racetrack. I think that's that Caden Tufts and the young buck there in the 00. Oh, there's Watson bringing out back that pretty neon colored scheme back out on the racetrack, leading the boys out for qualifying. So is it going to be, I'm assuming, a mixture of group qualifying, kind of like we did last season, group qualifying single car runs depending on the track, depending on what kind of chaos Vic wants to create here.
I mean, I could just do full group qualifying, but that would be no fun.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You got to keep them on their toes a little bit.
Should we should we all take a random guess as to who we think, before any hints or anything, who we think the number 30 driver is?
I think we should. Yeah, I'm game. I have someone I think I might want to take a stab at.
All right. Well, this is all preliminary guesses, so it's not really like whoever goes first wins type of thing. So, Goody, who do you think it is?
I'm gonna go Johnny Eckert.
Oh.
Is in that 30 car. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Adam?
I don't know. Come back to me. I haven't put too much thought into it.
You
yet.
think it's
the
a
guy
Johnny?
I thought was in it earlier.
All right, Goody, you think it's a Johnny. I also think it's a Johnny. I think it's Johnny Thomas.
Ooh. I think both are good guesses.
Because he loves this track. And, actually, well, I wasn't hit before, so don't worry about that.
Well, we didn't get too many hints. We were trying to pry Vic to for some answers, and he was being pretty vague. So
we've gotten a couple hints. The hint is that he's driven an OSCA in the past in season 1 of the trucks. He's already been on the Discord. Is a male.
And we all know him.
We all know
to some
him.
extent of him.
Is
So it's gonna be
it Shane? Is it
Go on.
Shane?
Well,
Ooh, that was a thought that went through my head too.
yeah.
That's my guess. I'm
You
going
go
with Shane.
Yeah.
I'm going with Shane DiManitoba.
Johnny
All right.
Eckert. Johnny. Oh yeah, you can guess.
Yeah, man.
Barney.
Ooh.
Okay.
Or we haven't seen him. I think one of the last times we've seen him about season 2, maybe of.
That's a good guess because he thought about coming back.
Oh.
Anyway, let's go back to qualifying.
Yeah, qualifying right now, Cameron Rich, your boy, on top of the leaderboard there with a 53.130. Gavin Hibbs in second right now. How about Darren Staff in the 45? Looking pretty stout. What was up with the number change here, Carlos, from the 87 to 45?
Well, if you remember correctly, last year, RKM started off sweeping both Daytona races, the season opener, with the 87 of Parker Collins. That's the number he chose. And even though Darren was the one who designed his paint scheme, after Parker left, Darren came over and took over the 45 cars after... I believe Katie Roby ran it 1 week, and then Darren ran it the remainder of the time. This was Parker's number. This was not Darren's number. So this season, he approached me, said he wanted to run his number, and his number is 45.
All right, so there we got an answer to some of the not quite a silly season move, as the car is technically the same, but obviously the number has changed, and another number change. I don't know if this is an IndyCar thing, but. Right behind him in the qualifying in the 5th spot, and now in 6th, with I think Ray Bracey putting up the 3rd fastest lap. Nick Indelicato switching from the number 4 to the number 1. I wonder if that's a little I'm the champion, I'm number 1. This is
Formula
the
1
benchmark
type
we got to
of thing.
beat here, boys.
Yeah, we asked him in media day, Matthew and I did, and he said that he's a huge motocross fan, and he kind of took the inspiration from there, and that's what they do over there. So that's what he ran with, and I like it. I think it's cool. Calling your shot and telling everybody you're the guy to come beat. Pretty cool.
You guys want a fun fact?
Yeah, fun fact.
So, we talked about Cameron Rich, currently one of my drivers, currently fastest. Darren Staff actually second, so he moved up. Our third driver that we have, Dallas Myhand, who is taking over essentially what used to be the 6 car of Zach Evans, who has moved on to a different race team with his number. Dallas Myhand wanted to run, he's the co-owner of OSCA, wanted to run the number 1, and that's what we filled it out as. But because Nick Indelicato won the championship, and it was based on championship standings priority, he ended up getting the 1 car. We didn't know about it, so we were designing schemes and everything with the 1, thinking that was going to be fine, especially with Dallas being the co-owner, because I'm sure he would have let us know if somebody else picked the 1. He didn't know about it. We didn't know about it until they approached us for a different number that we had, and seeing if we were going to do anything with that number. And then that's when we kind of had a little bit of fear going into our eyes. It's like, oh, we have all these schemes with the 1 already made. Now we have to go do the 15 number.
It almost sounds. I think it's similar to what like Steve Park, or I believe the back in the '99 season or 98 season, sorry, when Steve Park was a rookie. I think they had all the schemes painted almost reverse, I guess, with the number 14, and then I think it was Leo Jackson or whoever owned the one car back then. Kind of bowed out and let him take that number 1. So kind of similar. There's probably unreleased paint schemes out there of Dallas Myhand, and it's kind of exciting to hear. I believe Dallas is attempting to run the full season here.
Yep. All of our drivers are attempting to run the full season. The only one who has a risk of not being able to do that is Cameron Rich, who his job sometimes has him being on call. As a matter of fact, he actually is on call tonight. So if at any point he has to drive down Pitt Road and park it, or just stop altogether racing, there's a good chance that maybe he has to do some actual work.
Oh yeah, so we'll have to keep that in mind. So that's good to know there as well.
So I'm just gonna interrupt here.
Yeah.
So I liked all your picks as to who it was, but I'm not gonna say any of you are right or wrong yet. But I'm just gonna give you guys one hint right now.
Okay.
We get a hint. Here.
So
this is when it starts. So now this is the first person to guess it correctly.
So this person that is behind the wheel of the number 30, they have owned a team that has raced in OSCA in the past, but they don't currently own a team that races in OSCA.
Man, I think I think Johnny or Shane are still up there for grabs.
I don't think.
Has Shane on the team?
Yeah, I think
actually,
he had,
Johnny Thomas would still
ID.
qualify.
did he have a?
He doesn't currently own a team.
Doesn't currently own a team.
Yeah, so wow. And who did Matthew guess too? Who did he guess?
So again, the hint is this
Yeah.
person has owned a team but does not currently own a team.
Right, and ID Racing was Shane DiMantova. There was Outlaw Racing, which is I think now Inlaw.
Did Blake
Outlaw
Barney own a
Racing's
team?
in with
Oh no,
the
he did not.
97.
He did not own. Oh, it is Outlaw again. Dang. So I'm jumping on the Adam Taylor wagon. I'm going Shane DiMantova.
It's gonna be funny.
I'm not
If
gonna
that's
tell
right,
anyone who it is. I'm not gonna tell anyone who it is until after the race and when we get to interview the guy. If he wins half one for whatever reason, he's not gonna accept an interview.
Oh, okay.
So our picks get locked in at the completion of the first race, or is it locked in once it gets
So
revealed?
you guys will get a second. At the end of half one, you'll get a second attempt at guessing.
Oh,
Okay.
so I can't,
changing
change
your hint right now doesn't matter.
Okay.
Alright.
All right.
And you know,
Well, we have less than a minute.
since I have. Well, yeah, right. Well, let's just get to our picks then for the race.
Alright.
Adam, who you got?
oh yeah, I get to go first, huh?
Just keep in mind that you can only pick this number
I know.
one time in half one.
I know. I think I want to go Darren Staff. I'll take the 45 car.
There you go. Goody, you're up next.
Well, I'm going to be perfectly honest. It's kind of cool to see my old buddy Ryan Lutz out on the track. I'm going to take him while I still can because we might know you might not be here at the end of the season. So I'm starting off with the heavy hitter. I'm going to 36, Ryan Lutz.
All right, so I decided, and I think I told Adam this a few days ago. I decided how I'm going to do my picks this season is I'm not going to try to win. In fact, I'm going to see exactly how many last place finishes I can rack up.
Oh,
I'm going to see how few points.
You're
So
doing-
I'm
you're
going to
doing
go.
golf
I'm
score
actually.
here.
I'm not going to go for Rashid. That you might think that would be the option,
yeah, save
but
us.
I'm not going to go. It would be very safe, but I'm not going to go for Rashid. I am going to go for Jordan Tarble. I'm going to go with a 39.
Ooh, going with my team.
You know what's funny to that though is you're literally guessing who you think is going to wreck first.
That's not true. I'm picking who I think is going to finish last. That has nothing to do with wrecking. I'm hoping they don't wreck. Either way, Matt, you're up next.
Ray Bracey.
All right, there you go.
All right.
Carlos, you're last.
I won the championship. Alright, and I did so by saving some good picks towards the middle and really having some good ones at the last quarter of the season. I had good success. I enjoyed it, and I think I want to kind of replicate that result, and I'm gonna pick the same person I picked in half one for the 2023 A season. I'm gonna pick the number 2 of Jeff Green for half one.
That's a big pick. I'm gonna do my race stuff for the guys now.
All right, we'll get into the starting lineup here, and as you see on the pole, in the number 8 Braxton DeWeese Racing Ford Fusion from Miamisburg, Ohio, it's of course Braxton DeWeese. And on the outside of him, in the number 97 Outlaw Racing Chevrolet SS from Chesapeake, Virginia, it's DJ Weeks.
All right, here in row number 2, you've got Cameron Rich racing for R.I.P Motorsports. And to his outside, his teammate, Darren Staff, in the number 45 for R.I.P Motorsports.
And in row number 3 on the inside, in the number 82 Rack Racing Chevrolet from Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania, it's Vincent under my Isabella. And alongside him on the outside, in the number 25 Shift Esports Ford Fusion from Evansville, Indiana, it's Joe Barbecue Chips
I
Francis.
like timeout, guys. There's a stack up going on in the start-finish line.
Oh,
One of
no.
the drivers cannot get going. I think it's the pole sitter or outside pole sitter.
Oh no.
Oh no!
Dustin
Who is it?
Dewar.
Oh, this car's with damage, heavy damage. I believe the 95 of Gavin Hibbs has no front bumper now.
Oh man, I was just about to say his name in the rundown too. Now,
Yeah.
that's
Ooh.
horrible.
Ooh, so yeah, they're trying to get everything settled up here.
Cameron Rich took a tow.
Oh wow, so he must have had some
Wow.
issues there on the start. That's a lot of developing things going on here. But Adam, who do you got for row number 4?
We got the 95 Gavin Hibbs, and the number 7 of Ray Bracey in the Bojo machine.
All right, in row number 5, making his OSCA return in the number 36 Rack Racing Chevrolet from Long Island, New York, it's Ryan Lutz. And on the outside of him, in the 00, wow, I forgot what team he's on for the weekend. Woodsmen Racing Chevrolet from Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada, it's Kate Young Buck Tufts.
And on the inside of the next row, we've got the champ, number 1, changing his number up, Mr. Nick Andelicato, who everybody's going to be chasing pretty hard, I'm sure. And then to his outside, my guy, taking over for me, coming up here, Mr. Ty McIntosh.
Here's a replay.
Got a replay going on that start here. Yeah, take a peek at that as we continue going through the lineup.
I don't know. I feel like you should
boy.
have seen that car stopped.
Yeah, he had plenty of time to see that. Unfortunately, that's tough break for both drivers there. But on the inside of row number 7, and the number 12 South Shore Racing Chevrolet from Bakersfield, California, it's Damian Leininger. And on the outside, in the best looking paint scheme, in my opinion, in the number 6 Team Watson Racing Ford from Princeton, North Carolina, it's Zach B. Fine Evans.
All right, in the 71, we've got Dave Carpenter, one of our older guys, trying to put it to these young guys. And then we've also got Dallas Myhan in the number 15 for R.I.P Motorsports.
Didn't forget Alex Great there.
I did forget Alex Great. See, I screwed up. First time.
Hey, you got it. You're allowed. You're allowed. You'll get it.
We'll get it.
We'll get it. He starts at 15th spot, and then in the 18th position, we do have the number 2 of Jeff Green. He's in the DGG, Dirty Grizzled Grandpa Racing Chevrolet, and he's out of Owensboro, Kentucky.
Next, we got Nathaniel Cherry in the 27 Nurse Aviator Racing Chevy. Going alongside him will be David Westergreen in the South Shore Chevrolet.
And on the inside of row number 11, in the number 51 T. Kurt Chevrolet from Dorr, Michigan, it's Brett Jones. And alongside him, in the number 99 Shift Esports Ford Fusion from Worcester, Massachusetts, it's Gilberto Javier Gomera.
Looks like we got Dylan Thomas in the number 13, starting alongside number 32 Dustin Dewar, who I know is a part owner with my man Mr. Goody here.
Hell yeah, go Dusty. And it's starting in the 25th position in the number 91 South Shore Racing Chevrolet from South St. Paul, Minnesota, it's Cooper Johnson. And on the outside of him, in the number 43 Team Watson Racing Ford Fusion from Fairfield, California, it's James Watson.
Next up, we got a couple of my good friends, Mr. Daddy OSCA himself, Tim Conrad, in the number 35 weekend Woodsmen Chevrolet. And then also Adam Tepe in the number 96 Runaway Antelope 35 on Switch Chevrolet.
And in the starting in the 29th position in the number 30 Rack Racing Chevrolet from Parts Unknown, it's our Stig driver, Kevin Malone. And starting on the outside of him in the number 21 Rack Racing Chevrolet from Holbrook, Long Island, New York, it's Thomas Capuano.
Next up, we've got Kynan Jones, the land shark himself from Australia, in the number 73 Chevrolet. And then we've got the number 87 rookie Richard Hines.
And in the starting in the 33rd position, rounding out the field on the inside of that row, in the number 39 Do Good Motorsports Chevrolet from Thomasville, North Carolina, it's Jordan Tarbell. And starting shotgun in the field in the number 54 Nurse Aviator Racing Chevrolet from Brooklyn, New York. This guy I think has the second best scheme out here. It's Rashid Coles.
Just so you know, we are 1 to green now.
Perfect.
One
Next
to go
time by,
green.
we are going green.
We're going green, and unfortunately for some of these guys, DJ Weeks, Cameron Rich, starting on pit road now, so that's unfortunate with those pace laps, and that will give, I believe here, Vincent Isabella the pole position for tonight's race. I think he'll be the, I guess, quote-unquote control car, as much it will be to start off this race. So we'll
Not
see.
sure what
I haven't
happened to
seen.
Braxton.
He got an
yeah.
EOL for no contingencies.
Oh,
Is that why he was
got
just
the note.
stopped in the? Is that why he didn't go?
I assume so.
Interesting. So yeah, there's the interesting maybe miscommunication on the start of what to do. Hopefully we got the preseason jitters out here. We're gonna go green flag, 50 laps each half here tonight, and the top 10 cars will invert in from half number 1 to half number 2. So keep a note on that. And we're just about ready to go green flag racing. What's that? Expect the unexpected.
Francis to drop like a rock. He got
Yeah,
caught looking at his gauges.
I was going to mention that inside line, look for that, because I don't know if it's going to roll too good from the second row back.
Yeah, we'll see how Gavin Hibbs in that 95 with the heavy damage on the front of his car, but we do have the pace car diving off. Here we'll get started half number 1 of the Sugar Moon's creation, 400K. Green flag is out. Vincent Isabella leads him to the green flag. Good. Hey, Gavin Hibbs, oh, he's pulling down. Yep, he's trying to get out of the way.
That's good. There's going to be 3 wide getting in. That's a little scary, but I think they're going to make it.
Yeah, I think Gavin's getting plenty of room going on down on the apron. Vincent Isabella pulling away with the lead. And kind of guys getting single filed out on the starts because running side by side, you can make passes here at Indianapolis, but getting a feel for this new car running side by side first lap might be a little sketchy right now.
Yeah, I think these guys are just want to get single file. Just as fast as possible, get some laps underneath them, save the tires, go after them a little bit later in the race.
I was talking to my team, the Do Good Motorsports guys, they were saying really hard to get that nose pointed to the right direction with all that horsepower, and the car might push a little bit. So saving that right front tire, I think, is going to be a big factor here, as now Darren Staff looking stout here in the early going. He's going to take a look on the inside of Vincent, going to take the lead, and looks like he'll have that position going in turn number 1.
Yeah, he's young. He's got no patience. He's got the car. He's going to go get it now.
And the other thing you're hearing, I think it's about 18 laps of fuel run here tonight. So with 50 laps, if we go green, potentially two green flag pit stops that you'll need tonight. Maybe if you can stretch it, there might be some people here too conserving a little gas, pulling that Johnny Eckert move, saving a little fuel to maybe make it on 1 stop.
Oh, there's definitely people in the back that have been thinking that since we were doing pace laps, I'm sure. So I would not be surprised to see that.
Or no, I was doing math wrong. I think was it close to 3? I can't remember. I was trying to do math in my head. But yeah, there's guys. I think if you stretch it enough, you can make it. Maybe not. I'm bad at math. I apologize.
Math is hard. You'll never hear me ever try to do math. So math is hard.
Yeah. That's usually reserved for Matthew. He's got the math, the stats, and all that. He works in ARCA crew. He's got to know all that stuff.
Hey, he's good at it, right?
That's right. Yeah, he's pretty good at it right now. Looking good. As you see Ryan Lutz going on the inside of Joe Francis. New driver in that 25 car taking over the Rocket Man, Seth Rawls, that number 25 machine. And Ryan Lutz, usually fast, he's worked his way into the top 5. He's up 4 spots from where he started back in 9th.
I was getting ready to say, Carlos just panned to it. The man, the myth, the legend's coming forward. And Delgado has gotten by 2 cars. He's in 2nd place. He is tracking down Vincent Isabella.
Yeah, he's running, I think, quite a bit faster here than Vincent Isabella. Last time by, they ran pretty similar lap times. We'll see what they do once they hit the line here. Speed's picked up a little bit, but about a 10th faster for Nick Indelicato, so he is on the hunt, on the move, as Darren Staff just kind of riding around. Ooh, we see him fighting that wheel a little bit on corner exit. These high horsepower machines, I think throttle control, being able to wrestle that bear. He's, I mean, you see that wheel kind of get chaotic for him, Adam, but man, he's still making that car look pretty smooth.
I think he's right where he need to be, man. If I was his age riding behind the previous champion, the guy who wins all the races, I'd be riding right there and learning every little thing I could. So I think he's in a perfect spot.
Yeah, I think he's in a good spot, learning, trying to save some pace. We've seen him in position to win some races before. And maybe tonight he can start the season off with a win here, as I think we're completing lap number 4. Once they hit the line here, Isabella still leading the race, but on the hunt is Vincent Isabella, or Nick Indelicato. And coming off of pit road, Gavin Hibbs 2 laps down, I believe what it says. And really, well, even if he got his damage fixed, it still looks like he's missing that front bumper.
3 laps.
Yeah, I don't think he's not having too much fun. But I will say, Caden Tufts is kind of hanging there, just right around 6th, 7th. Maybe he's the one who's saving his tires. He's not really went forward. He's not went back. He's just kind of maintained. So he's somebody that I've been watching as the laps kind of clicked off here.
Yeah, kind of maintaining a competitive but yet not blistering pace. So that could be something to watch out for that young kid. We've seen him a lot too. That kind of a hot shoes young kid that maybe burnt his stuff up while leading these races. So maybe an off season of maturity now. He's getting the handle of it, trying to save these tires. I believe also with these older cars, the tire model might not be the same as some of the newer cars on the service, the next gen cars and the Xfinity cars. So I think saving definitely is going to be a lot different than maybe what these guys are more normally used to.
For sure. I think Ryan Lutz will be your next guy. You're really going to see a lot of speed coming through. He's picked off 2 or 3 more cars, and he's already making his way towards the front. So it would not be surprised if we end up with a 3 to 4 car race for this, between the 1, the 82, and the 36, maybe with the 12 in there. So that's kind of where I'm watching to see who really can break away from that big group and get up there and race for the front couple spots.
You know, and another guy you're talking about that, are they saving their stuff? Joe Francis, currently sitting in that 5th spot. From a guy knowing him from racing with him in OSCA and Elite, kind of hanging out in the Do Good Discord with us, and a guy who, he's not always a blistering fast guy, but a guy who can save his stuff. He did something pretty impressive in Elite on Monday. He stretched his tires longer than I think anyone else in the field, and maintained considerable pace, and ended up with a solid top 5 run. And a guy who could definitely surprise you by the end of the race. Currently, again, sitting in that 5th spot, in that I believe that's the Numbers by Joe sponsorship. You can go check him out and follow him on Twitter. Look him up. Those numbers he makes your sim numbers, and paints them up just like they are in your car. Got a nice metal sign. You can hang it up in your racing room man cave. Go check him out. Looks pretty cool.
I will say I checked in on our Stig driver, Mr. Kevin Malone here. He's currently in the 19th position, just kind of riding along. I think I've got another idea because we've got some driver chat, and I know a couple of the guys that we were talking about, some of them maybe have used that text chat a little more than others. So maybe that'll help out with trying to figure out who it might be, but he does got a little bit of damage there, riding behind that very beautiful Me-Find number 6 car.
Yeah, that old Dick Trickle throwback. And Stig, Kevin Malone, you touch that car, I'm gonna be a very upset man. He's got a. Does he have a black suit? Doesn't the Stig normally wear a white suit? So he's got a black fire suit on right now. That's the OSCA version of the Stig suit here. Is he's a little bit of damage. Let's see what's on that helmet. Is that going to be a hint here? Maybe not.
I don't recognize that one.
Me neither.
You want to know something fun?
What's
He
that?
changed his helmet for this event.
Good.
I like it. I like it.
Alright.
That's paying attention to detail. That's playing the role really well.
Do you know if he updated his information on the SDK thing? Because I don't want him to have a photo and then I click on the car thing. and it
I
shows a
wouldn't
photo
risk
of
it.
him. You wouldn't risk it, okay.
Don't risk it. Yeah, and sake
He
of
does
fun,
race
Carl.
in other leagues.
Yeah.
He does race in other leagues. If that's a hint, sure, but that's a free one, I guess.
Oh,
A lot of
cool.
drivers
He does
race in other leagues.
That's my point.
Oh, that's true. Hey, and anything free's worth saving up for, as Indelicato still kind of lurking right there behind Vincent Isabella. Hasn't really made a move yet, but is kind of keeping that 82 car within arm's reach. See if he can make a run here, but kind of looking through the field here as well, Adam. You know, we're talking about some of the cars that are moving up. Damian Leininger sitting in the 4th spot. He's up 9 positions. Dylan Thomas in that old
Here we go.
13 ride. Oh, here we go. Here goes Indelicato on the inside. I don't think Vincent's going to put too much of a fight up.
I think you got to let him go. I think the tires is just too important. If you race them now, you're going to burn them up. Only
Yep,
10
and-
laps into the run. You think you got to let him go.
Ooh,
Maybe not.
Maybe not. Oh,
they
they're,
hit again.
they're beating and banging for that lead, and that's making Ryan Lutz. He's now throwing his hat into the ring. It's a 3-car battle up front as we are going to complete lap number 10. And Nick Indelicato, now he's up 10 spots.
This may
into
not
the
be
lead.
over.
A little damage there for Lutz. I'm surprised some of these cars are hanging in there.
Oh, and again.
You know, that's one thing with Vincent, though. You know, man, he loves hanging that thing out. And that poor, you know, most people are probably worried about their right front tire. Vincent might be worried about his right rear tire, especially when he just drove through that corner as Ryan Lutz does take over that 2nd spot. But again, some of these guys moving up through the field. Alex Grates in that 14 up 7 spots in 8th. Dallas Myhand up 7 spots in the 10th position. And Daniel Cherry up to 12th, up 7 spots. Your boy and your old car in up 10 spots in 13th. Cooper Johnson up 10 spots in 15th. And again, Kevin Malone up 10 spots, started all the way back at 29th, up to 19th.
Yeah, speaking of Dylan Thomas, I'll go ahead and do my sponsor plug now. We'll get it out of the way.
Oh, yeah.
Check out Sugar Moon Creations on Etsy. Me and my wife spent a lot of time and a lot of heart and sweat into those wax melts, and they're very, very cool. We've actually started to expand this year. We're going to make candles this year as well. Really appreciate Dylan coming on board and taking over that car. I was reluctant to give it up, but I think he's going to do it proud. So go to Sugar Moon Creations SC on Etsy, get you some smell good stuff, start to get your holiday and Thanksgiving scents and stuff together, and Nurse Aviator 10 at checkout, get you 10% off.
I gotta
So,
say,
you know, we're not-
I've purchased some, I've received some, and I'm gonna receive some more as a champion, as a commentator's champion. It is definitely well worth the purchase. I use it nearly every day. It just makes everything smell so good. But actually, Adam, since we got you here, and it's lap 13, and that used to be your number, how are you feeling now 13 laps into this season now that you're not driving the car?
To be honest, I'm enjoying what I'm seeing. I've got the broadcast up, and I've also got my own monitor up over here trying to keep track of what's going on in the back, and my mind is going about 1,000,000 miles an hour, and I'm enjoying it. So I'll stay here as long as you guys will have me.
Heck yeah, we love having you up here in the booth. And you know, watching this battle here between Caden Tufts and Alex Grates for that 7th position. These are battles where if I was in that cockpit, I'm having fun, but I'm sweating bullets. But it's almost just as fun watching it up here in the booth. And there's no stress because there's nothing that's going to happen. It looks like Alex Grates will take over that 7th spot. But one other thing I did want to ask you too. Ooh, someone getting the wall there. You know, we're not quite done with summer. You know, we haven't talked to you in a while, but is there any new scents kind of in the fold, especially maybe with fall coming up here?
I will say that this
Oh!
is the month and
hard.
into September that we really get together and make a plan for sense. I'll have something for you soon. But we got to get back to this racing, guys. My heart's skipping a beat. I got 3 cars in this mess. I'm worried they're going to wad each other up.
Yeah, and man, with 3 wide here going on after Alex Greats hit the wall. And pretty good clip. Oh, this is
Okay.
wisely
Ooh.
for Nathaniel Cherry backing out and letting Alex Great go by. Whew. But yeah, these guys this is where the pack of dogs are right now, and they are fighting for that bone. As still nothing decided. Alex Greats, after that hard leg, he's still hanging on and fighting the good fight here.
What this is who saved tires and who didn't. This is exactly what's happening. Caden Tufts was running, top 5, top 6, and it looks like he's burning stuff off. And the guys that did save tires were more patient. They're starting to catch him. So this is the reason we have this big cluster of all these cars under a blanket right now. Is you have guys going forward, guys going backwards, and we're all just kind of merged.
And the thing is too, with these guys who might have burnt the tires up a little bit, we're getting pretty close to that time where, about lap 18 or so, that these guys will be starting to come down pit road. So it will kind of be interesting to watch, see when guys will dive down. Will it be short pitting? Well, you try to stretch it out here a little bit, as man, still nothing really decided. Oh boy!
Oh, Great's got the wall.
Great's got in the wall. He's going to drop back a couple more spots. But luckily, I've seen Dylan Thomas now breaking his way into that top 10. And
Cherry got into Tufts. Tufts on pit road.
Oh, Tufts in the inside wall pit road. My hand, he got a little squirrely in a break. Oh man, Tufts.
Yeah, Tufts was speeding for sure.
Yeah, that did not look good. It looked like 2 drivers behind him.
Fact,
my hand.
I'm not seeing Tufts with a black flag. Brent Jones got a black flag for speeding, but not Tufts. And Brent Jones came down a couple laps ago.
Wow, man, so he just loaded up in time, but that hit to the inside wall for the 00, that might cause some issues as well, as we now go to the 3-wide TV multi-cam, watching the guys make their green flag pit stop starting here about lap 15, 16.
It looked like Cherry got loose off of 4, and Caden was there to catch him, but it actually sent Caden toward the inside of the wall. So that's what that looked like happened there, but it's going to happen again. All these guys got to get on pit road. They got to be using their comms, telling everybody when they're coming, and see if they can get through it.
Yeah, especially when you're running in that pack, it can be hard to do. You're concentrating, just trying to stay off the guy above or below you. Oh, someone spin up pit road?
Sure.
Oh, Dusty, and he might have had some contact, and he hit the inside wall. There's another car without a front end.
That's
some
Tarble.
mayhem now. Tarble's the one who didn't have the front end?
Oh, yeah.
One of them catch the pit road entry?
Justin Dewar has the meatball flag.
Oh, no.
Did he catch the pit road?
He hit the inside wall pretty good there. See what happened.
Oh,
too much. Looked like just too much maybe rear brake coming in, and who was that? Who's that black car that hit him there? I couldn't tell.
I couldn't see.
21 off Capuano.
We got
Dusty,
a bunch of cars on pit road right
Yeah.
now.
Leaders on pit road. That will turn the lead over to the 89 of Ty McIntosh, leaving Shift Esports, joining that team of the weekend Woodsman crew. I'm sorry, Nurse Savior Racing. My bad.
I was going to let you fix it.
Thank you. Oh, man. But he takes over the lead. Zach Evans behind him. And I think 6 car is going to be coming down pit road. And it looks like once everything cycles through, Nick Indelicato, Ryan Lutz will be our leaders here, with still some guys yet to come down pit road.
So what's the play here? Why run long? If you're Ty, why are you running long?
I think at this point, just hoping that a caution comes out. But, here at Indianapolis, I mean, you're putting some of these guys a lap down, but I don't think you're putting enough to really make a big difference. Because a lot of these guys will stay out who just like these guys who are coming down pit road. We do see Ty McIntosh coming down pit road. And now the only car we have out is DJ Weeks. And the only thing I can say about that, too, is it seems like he usually just kind of likes to be off strategy. He's kind of like the Brad Keselowski out there, just kind of mixing things up a little bit, just doing what everyone else isn't seeing. Hey, if it's going to work or not. But staying out longer, maybe hoping that your tires are going to be freshest once after they make their last pit stops, which would be probably in another, again, 18, 15 laps for some of these guys. So it's going to be interesting to see what strategy works the best. There'll be kind of something to note here.
Yeah, for sure. I never really thought about it until I'm in this position, and I was just like, hey, why is he running longer? Does he know something we don't know? But I think it's like you said. I think he just likes being on a different strategy. So.
Yeah, we'll see how that will play out for him. But that's one thing too, that a lot of times these guys do want to hope for a caution, but in general we've seen this tight racing with this new car. But thankfully we've been seeing a lot of the full green flag run here so far, all 20 laps here, and let's just hope now I did not jinx it.
Can I mention
I don't know,
something?
but the race between Endelcado and Lutz right now is insane.
I want to mention something. DJ Weeks, of course, we're talking, has yet to go down Pear Road, different strategy, staying out. Once he does, it's going to move everybody else +1 position. I want to talk about Cameron Rich. Started the race in pit road, remember. Has the fastest lap of the race. It will be 5th now that the leader's going down Pear Road. What a drive by Cameron Rich.
Yeah, that's actually something really I didn't realize he was flying up through the field as fast as he did. And man, that's maybe another pit stop or two. He might be in the hunt here, because it's not a big gap, I believe, between Nick and Delicado all the way back to Cameron Rich. We might be talking about 3 or 4 seconds between the two. So we'll see how this plays out.
Congratulations to all the drivers. Technically only 2 black flags, one for speeding, the other one was a meatball flag, and the one who sped was Brent Jones, who came down like a couple laps by himself without anybody else. Everybody else went down Pear Road without any speeding penalties.
Hey, that's pretty good. We usually can see a lot of infractions, so good to see everyone kind of getting clean. And after the pit stop cycle out here, I mean, for the most part, yeah, everyone's still kind of within these groups here, and from 1st to 5th right now within 3 seconds. So Cameron Rich, again, starting in the back, just noting that, only 3 seconds back from Ryan Luntz, who is now your current leader after pit stops have cycled through.
I think that's definitely the driver of the race so far. If Cameron Rich can finish top 6, 7, I mean, that's the driver of the race, in my opinion. And going back to, like you were saying, on pit stops, if you really think about it, here in the sim world, that's the one thing we don't do a lot. A lot of us guys, we run in different leagues that might have 1 pit stop, maybe 2. A lot of official events don't have a lot of pit stops, and those have enough accidents where they're normally under yellow. So a green flag pit stop in the sim racing community is not the most common thing in the world. So to be able to have everybody get down, no penalties, get on and off pit road, I think that's amazing to me, because we don't do it. So I want to give everybody a good attaboy for that one. That was kind of impressive.
And Indianapolis is a track that's not the easiest pit road to get onto. Pushing off of turn 4, and then there is a pretty long gap until you get to that pit road, but it narrows up pretty quickly. And speaking of that, we will bring up from the infield care center Dustin Dewar, who unfortunately had a wreck, and I believe he's on pit road now getting the car fixed. But Dusty had that little pit road mishap. What happened out there, buddy?
Yeah, I thought I had pit road down pretty well in practice. And I don't know, maybe I was coming in too hot. I thought the guy in front of me might have been going a little bit too easy, and I kind of got on the brakes a little bit too hard to make sure I didn't get into him, and I lost him. Back end locked up on me and went into the tires, unfortunately, there.
And are we going to see you back out there, or are you just going to get ready for half number 2?
I still got 7 minutes. We'll see. See if something crazy happens in this race, I might come back out there. If not, stay fresh and I don't know. I feel this car's got some speed to it. My tires, out of the group of guys we're running with tonight at Do Good Motorsports and DGG, or
Dirty Grizzly Grandpas?
Yes, there we go. Thank you. I was really saving my tires nice. I guess I know I'll have to use them a little bit more in the second half with only going 17 laps to run here. You can use them more than I was, that's for sure.
Yeah, and that's kind of one thing we're kind of wondering. There's got to be that balance. And do you think guys maybe after this first a set of green flag pit stops might have figured out maybe a little bit better of a balance of how hard you can push it with a relatively short fuel run?
Yeah, I would think so. You know, the biggest thing is getting set up in the going into the corners, because if you miss the corner, it kills you. It kills your lap, and you're in a drop. So yeah, I think guys are gonna find it more. I know what I'm gonna do better in the second half. Starting from the back isn't gonna be fun. It is tough to pass, but hey, anything can happen.
Anything can happen. Hey, we've seen, we're talking about Cameron Ritchie. He started all the way in the back. He's currently up to 5th. So, hey, man, anything can happen. But before we let you go, any shout-outs you want to give?
Yeah, absolutely. Dad at JD's Hilltop Salvage. Hello, Dad, if you're still watching. Sorry to disappoint you tonight. Miss Goodies Goodies, home of the famous hooded towels. If you don't have a hooded towel yet, make sure you get one today, because they're about the hottest thing on the market. So check out Miss Goodies Goodies. Hello, Mom. And then we got old memory lanes, Randy Big Balls Walters. If you're tuning in tonight yet, enjoying the happy retirement life, but have one for me. And yeah, to you guys up in the booth, appreciate y'all. We couldn't do any of this if you weren't putting your time in.
Heck yeah, well, thank you. And hopefully we'll be talking to you under some better circumstances next time, Dusty.
Yeah, let's go do it, gentlemen.
Wait, I have a question for you, Dusty. It's
Yeah.
gonna be the question of the night, and I'm just gonna ask it to
it's
anybody
back.
and everybody, okay? So when you have your cereal, do you prefer it to be soggy, or do you eat it before it gets soggy?
I like it. I like a little bit of both, to be honest with you.
Oh, you're messed up. This is a messed up question. Keep going.
It's a valid question, and I put a lot of respect into you asking that. And you know, Vic, if it wasn't for that question, I don't know where I would be tonight at this time. I'm thinking about life differently, and the more I think about this question, I generally take a few bites right away, and then I let it get a little mushy, but still has a little crunch to it yet. Not too bad. And then I gobble that stuff up, and puts a smile on my face.
All right. Well, thanks, Dusty. You know, I will say, before we let you go, the one cereal I will kind of agree with you on that. Otherwise, I'm a crunchy guy. Is Frosted Mini Wheats. You get the first couple, and it's just like eating it raw or whatever, eating without milk. You let that milk soak in, just a little soggy. I will say that is perfection right there.
And especially if you got the, like you said, the frosted ones, that sugary goodness that just soaks into you when they're at that state, nothing can replace that, really.
I don't know how else you'd start a morning, really. Jeez. Okay, I'm putting you down with the Do Good boys. All right.
Have a good night, boys.
Yeah, best luck you'd have to. So,
Well,
anyway.
the question comes from the fact that me and my girlfriend were having this debate.
Oh.
She prefers hers crunchy. I definitely don't. So.
I just
like
want some cereal now, like some Lucky Charms or something. Like that's all.
Okay, and I also with this, well, I have the floor here. I got another hint for you guys.
Oh, perfect. I was just about to
So,
ask.
yeah. So, the driver of the number 30 car tonight, Mr. Kevin Malone. So I have a lot of things I could provide to you, but I'm going to provide to you something that's not going to be helpful in the slightest. So this guy has driven a Ford, Chevy, and a Toyota before in OSCA competition.
It's helped me a little bit.
That has removed my pick.
Less helpful than you think. There's a lot of guys that still fall under this.
Yeah.
Are we allowed to look into like the records on season 1? Or is this just based
you're
on
not
memory?
you aren't gonna find what you're looking for this hint. If I provide you the hints that I got for half 2, if you look at the stats, you'll figure it out pretty quick.
Okay. So I'll just try to go off of memory.
All right. I'm, man. You know, my official pick is Johnny Eckert, but
It's
I
not Johnny
think I'm going
Thomas.
to change.
Yeah. Johnny Eckert would fall under this category. I'm just gonna put it out.
Really?
Yeah, Johnny did a bunch of filling stuff. So.
Oh, that's
And,
right.
and what if the past team I'm talking about is in-law?
Oh man, you're getting in my head. I'm going with the gut.
What if I'm talking about somebody that's been previously banned? Oh, yeah. Stay tuned.
Oh boy, okay. We'll stay tuned to that. But with that, Ryan Lutz, speaking of previously banned, being our current leader right now in that 36 car, Nick Indelicato about a half second back. And looking like the top 5 definitely stretching out a little bit. But I think if we go back kind of into that 6th through 8th position battle between Damian Leininger, Dylan Thomas, and Darren Staff, kind of relatively close. And Darren Staff making them look on the outside of Dylan Thomas, or Dylan Thomas just passed him. And got some pretty good battles. Dallas Myhan looking sporty. You know, for being a guy who's retired, I mean, we've seen him in a lot of fill-in roles last season, but with Shift Esports. But it doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of rust to shake off of that 15 car here tonight.
No, he's looking really good. I know this group kind of all came off pit road together, and they've just kind of been battling it out ever since. I've had a lot of view on them, trying to keep up with who's moving forward, who's burning their tires up. I will say that I noticed on the last pit stop, and I think it's what's going to matter the most is if we get another green flag pit stop, is this is Indy. So the getting onto pit row is a very, very long stretch that you can make up a lot of time if you get in deeper. And then the actual exit road onto the track is probably the longest that I know of. So you can make up a lot of time or lose a lot of time getting in and off of pit row without even having a penalty. So don't be surprised if that's what wins the race. Just
McIntosh is
out
off
there.
track.
Yeah, it looked like he might have, I don't know if too much beans coming off the corner there, but he looked like he was going for a wild ride there, losing a couple of positions, now falling back into the 17th position. But yeah, that's, I think getting on and off pit road is going to be a big factor in who wins half number 1, especially when you see those 2 cars up front. And maybe some of these guys short pitting now. I think that kind of started a trend as we do see Dylan Thomas, Darren Staff now entering pit road with only 19 laps to go.
The
Man,
average was 17 to 18. That's the average. Some people were able to go. Actually, one person was able to go 20 laps, and then the rest is like kind of like 18 or so. I haven't seen anybody with 19 laps. But the fact that somebody did go 20 though.
Some guy did go 20, yeah, so it's going to be still close. These guys are going to have to stretch it a little bit if they want to make it to the end on just the 2 pit stops. Maybe that's what I was thinking. I don't know. Math is hard, but
Math is hard. I don't try.
Yeah, just don't try. Math. And it looked like a little bit there. I think he did a pretty good job, but we did see Dylan Thomas in that 13 car slide past his pit box just a little bit, but it did look like he did a pretty good job to put that thing in reverse and get in his pit stop relatively quickly. Oh no,
Oh,
Dallas is around.
backwards.
Man, he did a cold trickle. Oh, I thought he was gonna do the cold trickle, spinning around. But man, it you know, we've not a lot of penalties, but there has been some issues getting onto pit road for sure tonight. You know, maybe again not a lot of black flags, but of course we just talked to Dustin Dewar with the
Great.
pit road. We
Black
Caden
flag,
Tufts.
speeding.
Oh man.
Wow,
Now,
this is the
hopefully
last
now-
one. You can't do it here.
Yep, and this is maybe where we put the announcers' jinx on a lot of these guys, and they're trying not to lose that time. But again, I go back to what Jeff Gordon always said. He was kind of notoriously known at a certain point in his career of almost being too conservative coming down pit road. But his saying always was there was a lot more to lose if you got a speeding penalty than you could to gain. So there's obviously a mentality to it. But you know, again, being a race car driver, you're going to want to get whatever advantage you can and try to be right on the limit there.
So something I've noticed is both Indelicato and Lutz both have pitted, correct?
Yep.
Has Joe Francis pitted yet, or is he going to try to run longer
He has yet
and
to
have the
pit.
fresher tires on the back end? That's something I'm interested in because he was kind of lurking there behind them. So maybe he let them pit. He'll come in and get his tires here in the next couple of laps, and he'll have an actual fresher set
He
of
should
tires
go
to make
now.
it for the end.
Yeah, I'm thinking he should, just let him get up on a lap here and maybe pit road be a little emptier. Come down pit road, get a nice easy in, easy off for Joe, and he could maybe make a run at the victory here in half number 1. See a couple other guys, Nathaniel Cherry, Zach Evans coming down pit road this time by. Jeff Green, I believe, and another one coming down pit road. Then we see just behind them DJ Weeks, I believe he's the guy who probably went about 20 laps. He's the one who stretched it the farthest right now, currently running in the 5th position. But you know, I gotta wonder, does he go another 20 laps, or do you come in a little bit sooner?
Black flag. Hayden Tufts.
Oh no! Again, second time he's had issues down pit road tonight.
I think there might be 2 strategy plays involved. I think DJ Weeks ran farther than anyone. Maybe DJ's trying to make it without stopping again. I don't know if it's possible, but I wouldn't put it past him to try. And then I think you've got Kevin Malone and Joe Francis and James Watson. I think they're just trying to run long and have better tires on the backside. So I think we might have 3 strategies in play.
Yeah, so I mean, DJ Weeks, he could make it about with 10 to go, so I don't think he can make it the rest of the way. And I think if you pit with 10 laps to go, those fresh tires might not be an advantage enough for you to gain the time you're going to lose staying out on the old tires. But yeah, we'll see how that plays out. James Watson, currently your leader.
You guys want to? Let you guys know, Hayden Tufts did not get his black flag speeding. I was incorrect about that. He got his black flag after his pit stop, merging, I'm assuming, on the track too soon.
Oh, that's one thing we didn't really talk about. As Adam was mentioning, the pit exit, the runoff is a lot bigger, but
let's follow Kevin Malone.
In the middle of the corner is Kevin Malone. Yeah, watch Kevin Malone here. And I think the big issue is, you know, he's in turn 1 here. And if you get a little too much speed, that car is going to push up, and it gets right close to the racing surface. And there you see, if he just went over that line a little bit, you can get nicked with that black flag. So maybe that's what happened to Hayden Tufts on corner. Oh, pit exit. There you see, good, nice, easy exit there for Kevin Malone, our mystery driver.
And that's how easy it is to go from running top 10 to waiting for half 2 to start. I mean, just something that simple. So.
Did we talk about the invert?
Top 10, yep. Top 10 cars will invert tonight. We're still seeing some guys. See DJ Weeks going for the lead, and these 2 guys have not pitted. The only 2 cars amongst our leaders that have not come down for their second pit stop of the night.
So I was never good enough to actually use this as a play. But do you think maybe DJ is actually trying to run it to where he finishes, say, 8th through 10th, and he's starting on the front row for half 2? Is that something he's thinking about?
That could be a factor. He might know where those fresh tires will get him at the end of a run. He might be able to pass some of these guys. But, you know, even looking back to where that 10th position is right now, is about 27 seconds back from him. He'll definitely fall outside the top 10. Both these guys will when they come down pit road. So it's going to be tough if they can make that up. So that's where I think you'd want to pit a little bit sooner rather than later to use that fresher rubber that they'll have on the end of this run. Take advantage of it. But right now, kind of noticing, you know, Nick Indelicato, you know, once the cycle's back around, he'll still be in second. You see that gap between the 36 and the 1. That's something we haven't quite seen so far here tonight. And again, they came down the pit road same times, same lap, so they have the same age of tires. So it might be interesting. But oh, look at that! One guy who's maybe closing in a little bit is that 29 of Cameron Rich. And there you see the 2 leaders coming down pit road. DJ Weeks, James
Just
Watson.
one leader.
So that will cycle.
Weeks is still out.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, that wasn't him behind him. Never mind.
I mean, Cameron Rich is going to cycle to 3rd after DJ pits.
And he's going to be, again, just, well, maybe 4 seconds back of Lutz, and he's currently 3 seconds back to Nick Indelicato.
That is mind-blowing.
Yeah, it's to come back, and as Dewar was saying, and knowing how Indianapolis is, no matter what car you run, a track position is huge at a place like Indianapolis. So for him to work, it'll say on the official sheet that he's lost 1 position since the start, but we know he started on pit road, and he's worked his way up from that 34th position, starting on in shotgun in the field. And even more of a disadvantage. Oh, there! Oh, did he get? Yeah, he'll get slowed down in time. You see that yellow cone? Yep, he should be good. I forget how far that cone does go back. How much time you do have to kind of carry a little bit of speed.
I'm real curious where he's going to come out, and then I'm going to keep an eye on him with these last 10 laps because I want to see how many spots he can really make up on that fresh rubber.
You'll lose the
just
top
to
10 for
kind of
sure.
keep an eye on it.
Well, if he takes 2 tires, maybe he has a puncher's chance. Right now he's 10th. Now he falls out, and caution is out, and that, as they say, changes everything.
Does that save DJ?
If a lot of cars pit, he should be able to stay out. He's not going to lose a lap here. He does come off pit road, so that could have been saved by the bell there for DJ Weeks. We'll take a look at what happened to the 14 car of Alex Grates. Kind of a shame, had a lot of speed here tonight. Oh, too much beans, and bam. Oh, a hard lick to the inside wall. Oh.
There's no worse feeling than having that grip and then it just going away at the last second.
And we see some damage, and he hit the inside of pit wall there as well. But yeah, a lot of cars were flirting with this all night long. Maybe trying to get, they completed their last pit stop. He's trying to get every little bit out of those tires, and that time, maybe a little bit too much there for the 14. It's a shame, too, because he really did show a lot of speed. He was flexing a lot of muscle here tonight. Maybe in half number 2, he can make things a little bit better. But, hey, he's still on the lead lap. He ain't done yet, and man, we'll get a restart now with 10 to go. What do you do, too, now if you're Ryan Lutz in Delicado? You know some of these guys who just came down pit road. They're going to gamble and stay out. So what do you do with those older tires that are, a handful of laps old?
I don't think they could pit. I think they're just the top 3 here are just so much faster than everybody. I think they have to stay out and race it amongst themselves. But I don't know. You say Thomas in 7th.
There's got to be someone who's gonna break the chain. Who's gonna break it? A lot of guys.
The leader's pitted.
Who
doesn't pit? Who doesn't pit?
Nobody yet.
Malone.
Kevin Malone. Oh.
We know
Stig.
We know DJ Weeks doesn't need tires.
And Watson is going to be another one, I think, staying out here, and I believe he has. Cooper Johnson, DJ Weeks, they're going to stay out.
That's a hint right there. Kevin Malone is the type of driver that would shake things up like this.
It was just that running.
You want to know something interesting?
Yeah.
Normally he wouldn't. Normally he wouldn't.
Okay, now I feel like it's Johnny Eckert again.
No, Johnny Eckert runs long all the time.
Yeah, but he doesn't stay out often.
I don't think he does. Yeah, I think he'd be too worried to.
I don't know. I've been wondering why those guys were running long this entire time, and it just fell in their lap. I mean, Watson's got a lap and a half on his tires, maybe. DJ doesn't have any.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's a gamble if you're going to stay out run long. But these guys who did stretch it a little bit, Watson, DJ Weeks, I don't know when Cooper Johnson came down pit road. Kevin Malone, our Stig here, he feel like he pitted a little bit earlier, but maybe just rolling the dice. Man, oh man, it's this is gonna be interesting. There's now Ryan Lutz actually had some issues. He's gonna fall behind Nick Indelicato and Cameron Ridge. So it's gonna be hard for him to come back to 7th and 1st. It's probably about 7 laps by the time we round out this caution. So man, this, like you said, this blew this race wide open, and this could be anyone's game here.
I'm calling it now. Lutz, Rich, and Indelicato are 3 wide getting into 1. And I say that because they know the race is to get past the 3 or 4 that didn't pit. Whoever gets past those 3 or 4 with the most efficient and fastest wins the race in their mind. So watch those 3 on this restart.
And I'm going to be curious too. Again, DJ Weeks really just having ideally just as fresh as tires as the guys behind him, and he seemed like he's maybe saving a little bit. We've seen him run up front with Johnny Eckert all the time back in the day. So was he holding anything back? And now that this kind of fell into his lap, does he kind of hang it out high, wide, and handsome and try to make a charge for the lead? Do we have how old the tires are for Malone and Johnson on the front row here?
Yeah, we do. He went lap 35, so that's 7 laps ago, I think.
7 laps. Yeah, it's 4 laps. Just to note that DJ Weeks pit on 39, everyone else 41.
Is this
So-
going to be our last caution? Let's ask the elephant in the room.
I think as you said, I think you have something going there with some 3 wide into turn 1, and again not having a lot of restarts throughout this event. I think it's going to get pretty wild once we go back to green flag racing.
Said I just think it's going to be a race to get through those 4. So turn 1 and 2 is going to be very exciting. Right.
It's gonna be exciting. We're gonna see the conclusion here play out. The pace truck's gonna dive down pit road, and we're gonna get another restart here in half number 1 of the Sugar Moons Creations 400K at Indianapolis, not Minneapolis. As Malone gets a good restart here. That's just what he wanted to see. Cooper Johnson on the outside struggle a little bit as James Watson is gonna battle back on the inside. Not quite as hectic as behind him as I thought, but now Indelicado's trying to change lanes, get aggressive, but that's going to hurt him as Lutz looks on the inside now for the 3rd position.
Oh, they just waited to the exit of 2 to start driving off. Driving like that. I thought it'd be a little bit sooner, but here they go. Here they come.
Here they come. Ooh, Lutz on the bottom. He's going to make it 3 wide. I'm hearing a penalty issue.
Oh, not
for
4 wide lift.
Oh boy. Oh boy, they're still going 3 wide here. Indelicado, Watson. Oh, Lutz is sideways. He hangs on to it. Oh, Indelicado hard in the outside wall. Oh, they're wrecking. Everyone from about 3rd on back getting
All
involved in
of
a
my
wreck.
drivers. It's been a while, but I gotta.
Oh man, Carpenter with a late hit there too.
So is that jinxing them because
That-
it happened in 3 and 4?
Yeah.
Not
It's,
1 and 2?
And there's a lot of cars, I think, smoke trailing out of the back of them. That's some heavy hits. And surprisingly, the way they were running going into 3, I'm surprised they made it that long. Joe Francis involved, you see there. Man, Dallas Myhan had some heavy damage. Jeff Green, he got ping-ponged around in there. There's just a gaggle of cars.
It started with contact between the 36 and the 29.
Yeah, and it kind of the first car to kind of break away was Indelicado there. Man, and it just kept compounding into something greater. And I think your top 3 right now, Malone, Watson, and DJ Weeks, are the ones that definitely got through it totally unscathed.
Looking back on it, you had Watson on those, like we said, 5-6 lap old tires, and he was just holding those guys up, and they were ready to go. And just a little too impatient. I mean, had plenty of laps left to not have to have that, but hey, they felt like they had to go when they wanted to go.
Yeah, and one thing about Indianapolis too, you got the walls on the inside, of course the outside retaining wall as well, and these straightaways are end up like bowling alleys with the gutters pulled in. Oh man, just contact there. Man, oh man, what a hard lick. Oh, who we ran on board with here? Is that Ty? No.
That's Cooper Johnson.
Cooper Johnson. Okay, that was Cooper. Oh,
I mean,
man.
did any of the top 4 that we've been watching tonight get through that?
I don't think so. I think a lot of the cars that were behind Vincent Isabella, I see he's staying out in 4th right now. He even got some damage on that one as well. There's Cameron Rich then. A hard lick as well. Joe Francis. And kind of Jones, he might have been okay. It looked like he might have just
Zach
sneaked through there
Evans?
as well.
Zach Evans just went flying by on the bottom.
Yeah. Some guys look like, I mean, I see Jeff Green, he looked like he was weaving through there, but I seen him get hit pretty late in the caution there as well. Oh, man. Oh, it looks like a guy, you're like, oh man, I dodged that guy, and all of a sudden it's just a house of falling cards there once this wreck started.
And guess what, guys? Kevin Malone is still leading this race.
And that's where it could play out. Just as long as you're leading, get a good enough start
If he wins, our window of guessing drastically goes down because now we have to get it right before we interview him.
No, he said he's not coming in if he wins half number 1, I believe Vic said.
He's not coming in at the end of half 1 if he wins it. You won't get in a winner interview.
I mean,
But maybe his victory burnout or how he conducts himself.
There's
in-
no
I'm
time for
afraid
burnout.
I'll know to him not to give it away.
There's also no time.
Yeah, that's true. There's not a lot of time.
Have we seen him do a burnout in OSCA?
I'm not ready to provide you any more hints.
Oh,
I'm gonna wait for the conclusion of half one,
That's
and I
fair,
got
that's
one more
fair,
hint
that's
for
fair.
you. And then
So-
you guys can guess again.
all right.
so
Well,
we
will
just
have-
saw what new tires is worth, right? Like we saw how much faster those guys were. They just had nowhere to go. So is Dylan Thomas back there? Maybe Vince still like
And DJ Weeks, I think, newest tires are just about the same tires, no damage. Vincent's a guy, I think he got on two wheels there. He might have a little bit of damage. There's going to be some of these cars that I think stayed out that might have a little damage as well. So this is, I think, still just wide open. We don't know.
I mean, Kynan Jones is a player now. That really turned this race upside down.
Man, this is going to be a fun one to watch. 4 laps to go. Coming to the line, there'll be 3 to go. Once the pace car dives down pit road as they're coming off of turn 4 now. Kevin Malone, he's working that restart, trying to get through the gears. Don't spin those tires, all that horsepower. That could also be a factor here too off this restart. Pace car dives down pit road. Getting to that 3 wide TV restart zone. A little bit of spin for Kevin Malone.
Oh, in the
Looks like he
back.
clears.
they're
Rashid
spinning in the
Coles!
back.
And another bottleneck. Jordan Tarble. Oh boy, Gavin Hibbs with a hard hit there too.
Base truck might as well gas it.
Yep, you get. Ooh. And man, that again, that was probably almost a worse spot than where we seen our last caution. Luckily, it happened further back in the field, but nowhere to go for everybody. I think was it Cole's just getting on the gas, spinning those rear tires. Got to watch out for that. Lots into it again.
And I
Remember,
promise
2
you,
attempts.
that's the lowest feeling in the world when you spin your tires and cause a wreck on a restart. So
Yeah, and you know, some drivers will be quick to call each other out. And again, these guys, a lot of these guys maybe not used to driving these high horsepower cars. And again, it's not usually what leagues run or you'd run in officials. So it's definitely a different bird on these restarts than what you'd see in the next gen cars or the, oh man, these are gonna be some hard hits. Or the Xfinity cars. It's a whole different bird, and it's a whole different feel and throttle control to get going on these restarts. Thomas Campione, I believe he's got ping ponged around even on pit road when the Dewar wreck. I think he got involved last caution as well and get caught up in this. So again, for Kevin Malone, our stick driver, this is exactly what he wanted to see with those oldest tires in the field right now.
I just can't believe what I'm watching, to be honest with you.
We've seen some of the cleanest racing to, you know, the first 39 laps, and of course once that the cautions breed cautions, as Darrell Waltrip would always say, and here we got them.
We got to get through 2 more.
Yeah, two more restarts, green white checkers too. So and again, and what generally happens is you know, every restart is going to be more amplified, more urgent to get to the front. So it's.
I have a question for Vic that I meant to ask earlier. Are we doing the choose tonight or no? I have not looked at it.
No, not tonight. We will
Not
begin
tonight,
the
okay.
choose rule at Milwaukee in a few weeks.
Milwaukee. So man, I you know, just that last question you brought up before the last restart, I think it still stands. Who's going to be in good enough shape with those tires? I think Kevin Malone, with the situation we have going on right now, as far as the, you know, these constant restarts, that's going to play in his favor. He's going to get the best jump off the whole shot. But again, DJ Weeks, I think Dylan Thomas. I'm going to skip over Vincent Isabella because I don't know how much damage that car has. But I think your boy in your old car there, he's got to have a pretty good shot to be in contention here at the end too. But now instead of 4 laps, we're only going to have a green-white checkered. You got to wonder, do these guys have enough time to pass Watson and our mystery Kevin Malone?
I think time is the kicker. Because I think just looking at speed and clean cars, I think DJ, Dylan, and possibly Deweese or Kynan, if they get a big draft, can get up there. I don't know what Malone's tires look like. I mean, we saw Watson. We saw that he wasn't maintaining as high of a pace, but Malone seemed to have no issues. So, I guess we're about to find out.
Yeah, we're gonna find out here quickly. Well, maybe is it 1 to green now? Yeah, I do believe it is.
First attempt at a green-white checkered. First of 2.
First of 2. So yeah, 1 more shot. So if these guys get a little too impatient, they might hand the win to driver KM. I was gonna say driver X, but that wouldn't make any sense. I'm a little disappointed that Vic didn't make like a Kevin Malone like themed car for our mystery driver. Ooh, and I believe waving off this restart to make sure the guys who did get the wave around. The rule is if you're on track and you're lap down, will get a lap back. I believe not involved in the wreck that we just seen as well. So
Everybody that was involved in the wreck is basically done for the day.
Yeah, true. I think a lot of these wrecks. We've 23 cars on the lead lap. I don't even know how many cars are still running. About 30, 31. Still running in the race here, so still got a lot of cars out of the 34 that started. I believe the only cars off track right now, Indelicato, Thomas Capuano, and Dustin Dewar, that are currently off track. Everyone else is limping out on track, trying to get whatever they can, because every point's gonna matter.
I mean, this race started chaos. I mean, I don't know
Yeah.
why we expected anything different after the way it started, but
Yeah, that's true. It's been wild from the get-go, and even with the green flag runs, we've seen some chaotic moves, some chaotic things going out on the racetrack. But I think no better way to kick off the season with at least 1 attempt here at a green-white checkered, and maybe a surprise winner here tonight.
I think we're guaranteed that at this point.
Well, I think it all depends who's in that 30 car. If it is like a Johnny Eckert, it might not be that big of a surprise. But I am really enjoying the guessing game here of who's driving that number 30. So I'd ask Vic, does the Kevin Malone driver, even if it's different drivers, does that get a chance at a championship, or at least a team points thing?
The 30 car will get a chance at the Owners' Championship, yes.
All right.
The driver behind the wheel this week, I don't think plans on running. I can't say for sure because I don't actually know their plans because I didn't ask.
I know what it is.
So if they want to continue, they will keep the points as the mystery driver.
No, they'll keep it as their own self.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's what I mean. And the pace truck will dive down. Our first attempt here at a green-white checkered. Include half number 1 of the Sugar Moons Creations 400K. I think another good start there for Kevin Malone. Watson with a pretty decent start on the outside too. He'll be able to get on the inside going down into turn number 1. And things a lot smoother here on this restart now with 2 laps to go. But can those guys with fresher tires, can they catch up to the 43 and the 30?
I think if DJ wants a chance, DJ's got to get by the 43 here. Here he goes. Oh, nope, he took back.
Try to get that draft, and they're catching up to Malone there. As the 97 and the 43 were locked bumpers for a little bit. DJ Weeks is going to look to the inside going into turn 3. It's just a lot more grip for that 97. Now he's going to have his sights on our mystery driver, but does he have enough time as they're diving into turn 4, coming to 1 lap to go?
Remember, this is a very long track. I think he might have time, but I think he's going to need help. I think he's going to need someone to help push him up there.
You see Malone there trying to shake the draft of the 97. See car Braxton DeWeese on the inside, that unsponsored number 8 going to the inside, trying to move up through the field. He's moved up to that 4th position with the injured Vincent Isabella. DJ Weeks about 4/10 back. He's closing in quite a bit in the corners, but I think it's going to be how much of a run he comes out of turn 2 here. Can he close that gap? He's gaining, but he's going to have to get that draft. I don't know if he's going to have enough time. Going into turn 3 for the final time. Going through the short chute. He's definitely gaining, but is he going to have enough? Oh, Braxton DeWeese in the wall. Coming out of turn number 4. We're going into turn 4. Coming out, does our mystery driver have enough to hold off DJ Weeks? And it looks like Kevin Malone, our mystery driver, is going to take half number 1.
Wow.
DJ Weeks 2nd, James Watson 3rd, Braxton DeWeese 4th, and Dylan Thomas will round out your top 5.
So now that he's won, I could say this before he won, but he has won multiple races in OSCA. That was my other hint. That was my next hint.
It still could be, I think, me and Peeler's guesses. So,
I'd like to change my guess.
All right. Well, while they're on the cooldown, how about you give us who you got, Peeler? Who you think it is?
Still think it's Shane.
Okay. Who you got, Goody? Who you think it is?
Man, I was gonna change it. I was honest to God gonna change it. I'm sticking with Johnny Eckert.
Matt's not here. Carlos, who you got? Who you think it is?
I'm guessing Robert Hill Jr.
All right.
Uh-huh.
I got 3 more hints for you guys. I'll give you one more after the warm up, and another one halfway through the next half, and then at the end of the half.
All right. So again, there's your final results here as our mystery driver has got a victory. Oh, Matthew, I don't know if you've been listening to our hints, but do you have another guess on who our Stig driver might be?
Well, I was going to say Nick Monticelli at one point, but I don't know.
What are you trying to say?
Nothing at all. Trust me, nothing at all. If you're watching, Nick, sorry. I think the Johnny Eckert guess is pretty solid. If anybody's still rolling with that, is that still a thing?
I was gonna change it, but I'm sticking with it.
I just think it's too easy.
I was trying to think back of season 1 guys. I couldn't really think. I think Johnny Eckert's. Have you guys picked for the second half yet?
Not yet. We can go through that right away while the guys are warming up for half number 2. Since we're not going to have an interview, so I think as good a time as any to make our picks. Who's up first? Because that order changed a lot. Who did you have? You had.
I had Ray Bracey. Was going pretty good until he disconnected.
Yeah, I think you are first. Vic, can you confirm that?
Vic, am I first?
Vic is not
I'm
available.
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm in a space case over here. Yeah, you're first. I'm sorry. Space case, dude. It's been a day.
We'll go Braxton DeWeese.
I know I get second pick here. I don't know beyond that. I think. Yeah, I'm gonna keep my my streak of trying to pick last place finishers, and I'm gonna go with Richard Hines in the 87 car.
Why are you picking on my team, man?
I'm not picking on your team. I'm picking on everybody that doesn't have any pace. That's what I'm doing. I don't know who's next, if I'm honest with you.
It got jumbled up. I believe
I think
might be me.
maybe you. Oh, actually, Carlos should have picked first, but we'll give.
That's
Carlos
fine. The person I wanted to pick was not picked yet, so I'll do that. Damn, really? Alright. I'm gonna pick with the person who has abandoned my race team to go race with his friends. Okay, that's perfectly fine. I'm gonna pick the number 6.
All right. And next up is Goody.
All right, man. A lot of tough, stiff competition out here tonight. And some of these guys you think you want to save at certain points of the season, but I kind of like the way the race Ty McIntosh ran in that 89. I'm going to go with him to be smooth and stay clean here in half number 2 and get me a solid run.
All right, and Mr. Peeler, who you got?
I think I am going to go. I like the strategy of DJ. I think I'm going to take DJ.
All right, there you go.
Picks are and well, who did you have Peeler for half number 1?
He had 45.
45.
45. So relatively, so you were the best finisher with a 16th place finish. So.
Oh yeah, we were. I wasn't gonna bring it up, halfway, 3/4 through, when he had burned his stuff up and was dropping like a rock. But I may have chuckled and smiled a little bit when all your guys wrecked. But
well,
that's not the point.
I still think either way, with our 4 runs to start off the season, I think we still got it wide open here. We're still it's early in the season, obviously, but yeah, things could definitely change here in half number 2. And now that we kind of seen a half kind of come into play here, Adam, what are you expecting? Are you going to expect maybe a little bit more spread out cautions throughout the race? With some of these guys, especially some of these fast guys, going to have to start all the way in the back that were dominating the race, like Nick Delicado, Ryan Lutz, Cameron Rich, or are we going to see maybe a less chaotic race with even some of the action that we've seen right from the get-go when the field gridded up?
I think we have more wrecks, and I'll say that because, like you just said, we have some very, very fast guys starting in the back, and we all know it's not easy to pass here. So that worries me a little bit. Not necessarily saying it, it'll be one of those guys, but there'll be guys trying to maybe get out of their way, trying to give all those guys a little bit of extra space so they got spatial awareness. So that many fast guys, if it was 1 or 2, I wouldn't worry. But with it being that many, I see way more cautions in the second race.
Goody.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Yeah.
Did you see DJ Week's comment in the YouTube chat?
I did not. I'm going to look right now, so I'm more of aware of what's going on here.
He says that it's not Johnny Eckert. He's his crew chief.
Why would you? Or is he saying that to mess with me?
Also on the Discord, Shane DiMantova got in the chat.
Yeah, he's
all of a sudden
Snapchat.
All of a sudden saying
Snapchat
Miss
me
Racing with you
because
boys.
everybody's picking him. Everybody thinks it's him. He's been Snapchatting me watching this race because I had him tune in tonight.
Sure.
Awesome. I did.
So we do get one more guess before the reveal, right? I believe.
We're gonna get two more hints.
Yeah,
I believe.
yeah. You'll get 3 more hints.
3 more.
So I'll give you another hint. So because I can actually, I have 4 hints prepared, and the last one's going to be a dead ringer as to who it is. So this guy has multiple wins in OSCA, but he doesn't have very many top 10s. Before tonight, he only had only 22% of his starts were top 10s. I'm not going to give you exactly how many top 10s, but 22% of his starts were top 10s.
Okay. All right. I see why you told us to not look it up on Dan Lisa. So that's a good idea.
So you're not gonna learn anything.
You would have. It would take too long.
You would have to have an incredible mind.
But the only guy I think could figure this out is Matthew.
There's a reason I use these statistics.
Yeah. Or is he okay?
Bracy starting from pit road. Jeff Green not driving in this half. It looks like.
I think, yep, he did retire early. I'm going to see if he's not in the Do Good team chat. So, yeah, he is not going to start. So, we only have 33 cars out on the field there. You do see, again, with the lineup change, David Westergreen will start on the pole. Kynan Jones along his outside. Ty McIntosh and Zach Evans take up row number 2. Row number 3 will be Dylan Thomas and Vincent Isabella. Row 3 will be James Watson and Braxton DeWeese. And, again, our winner, or Adam, wait, what? Something's messed up. So the lineup's messed up here because I think Malone's at 9th.
Well, because
he's 10th. Oh, because wasn't Bracy supposed to be up there?
Yeah,
Bracy was
Bracy is
supposed
starting
to-
a pair
oh,
road. Because he missed
Was
the
he
start.
supposed to start at the top 10? No, he wasn't.
No.
I don't know.
I don't know what's on, because Kevin Malone is, he is supposed to start in 10th, and that's where it shows him, but he's moved up 2 spots because the inside lane has yet to catch up fully.
Okay, I was going off live time and
Okay.
scoring, so I apologize for that. Instead of the hard locked starting grid. So now
So,
we get guys. Yeah. With these, oh yeah, go ahead.
You still pretty comfortable with your picks though?
Yes.
You're loving this, aren't you?
I'm loving
I
this
am
because
loving
you
this
guys
too.
have no idea.
I have zero idea.
You know, I'm wishy-washy, and I'm still thinking if it's either gonna be I'm right or Adam's right. I think we narrowed it down to those two, but I'm still prepared to be shocked.
Wait until you hear more statistics. I got more shocking stuff for you.
Okay.
Does this person have a significant other that participated in the
Oh, actually-
significant other showdown?
I'm not telling you. I'm
That's a
not
good.
telling you.
That's a good. one.
That would narrow it down drastically.
Oh.
You know, and actually, I'm not confident in my pick.
You answered my
Johnny
question,
Eckert
then.
Did I, or did I? Am I just playing mind games?
I feel like not that many people participated, and if you said that narrows it down drastically, then yeah, I feel
I said if I answered it would narrow it down drastically. What if the person didn't have a significant other that can be?
then you wouldn't be narrowing it down drastically because the majority of the people did not
But
participate.
no, I'm saying if I answered, I could be. Dude, look, I'm gonna mess with you guys. I'm not telling you.
All right.
I'm switching unofficially back to Shane DiMantova.
This is Vic's world. We're just playing in it.
Yeah.
I'm really thinking it's Shane now, because Goody. Oh, you're not Goody. Vic, are you allowed to lie to us?
He's doing some
What'd you
official
say?
talk.
Sorry.
Are you allowed to lie
you-
to us?
Am I allowed to lie to you? No, these
Yeah.
are actual stats.
No,
like,
I'm talking about
statistical
anything else you
facts.
said, like Shane
Oh yeah,
messaging you on
if it's
Kick or
anything,
whatever.
if it's anything else, I've absolutely. There's been times where, like tonight, I'll admit at least once I've lied to you.
Last question: Do
I'm
we get
thinking it's
extra
Shane
points
now.
for guessing it right?
No, you don't get extra points. You get to know that you did
You
it.
get bragging rights. Pace cars off, guys.
Pace cars off. Fields going to the green as David Westergreen leads the field. Ooh, looks like he got a pretty good push there behind from Ty McIntosh going down into turn number 1.
Uh-oh,
Swinging wide, Kynan Jones. Uh-oh.
Yeah. Looks like Ty's gonna clear for second.
Ooh, if he can. Kynan's trying to hang on there on the outside. Looks like Ty will clear it. Now Vincent Isabella, who showed that speed, did have that damaged car at the end of the race, but we've seen him lead laps early in the going in half number 1. Will he make a charge to the front?
I
Oh,
think the wild
contact!
card here is
43
back in the
around.
least.
Watson! Oh,
What? No
right in
caution.
front.
No caution.
No caution. Oh, he's
Caution.
gonna spin again. Oh,
No caution
Kim.
still.
Oh man.
Where's another caution?
Caution. Now there's caution. And what bad luck there for the 95 of Gavin Hibbs who spun or Watson spun right in front of him, nowhere to go for that 95, and again we've seen him with damage right from the get-go in half number 1. Oh, too much beans going into the corner. We don't see that a lot. And oh, Kevin Malone getting some damage there as well, just a little bit. There's a pretty good lick. Brent Jones also involved in the 51. And just like that, as you predicted, Adam, seeing a caution here. Obviously a little earlier than, a lot earlier, I should say, than we did in half number 1.
Yeah, I didn't expect it that quick, but
Yeah.
just looks like Watson maybe got in there a little hotter when he got on the brake to kind of slow the car down. He just may have caught whoever was behind him off guard, and a little chain reaction there maybe is what that kind of looks like.
And that's one thing I always kind of wondered. I've never raced in OSCA competition with the two halves, and obviously he just got done racing half number 1, and obviously that pace is different. When you first start and you initially start, you kind of know you're going to kind of feel it out, take it easy. But when you just got done, 5-10 minutes ago, completing half number 1, knowing your rhythm from the end of half number 1 to the beginning of half number 2, is it harder on restarts to kind of take it easy, as you would say, to begin a race?
It can be. I think the biggest difference is just lots of times the track is all very different from race to race. The
That's a
track
fact.
conditions are always, Vic does a really good job of making it pretty much not the same race every time. So, if say in that case the 13 drove it into his normal what he'd done the whole previous race and maybe he backed it up a little bit to be safe, but then Watson drove it in to where he normally was. He had to get on the brakes because the 13 backed his up the corner up a little bit, and the guy behind, Watson didn't know either one of them were going to do that, and he gets into him. So I'm not saying that's what happened there, but I wouldn't be shocked if that is exactly what it is because, like you said, you get used to racing in these conditions on 15 lap tires, and then boom, we go to another race and the track's different. You got new tires, you got people around you that you may or may not have raced around the race before, and it's chaos. So I mean, we always have one good half or one long run half and one caution half. So I think there's a reason for that.
Yeah, and definitely, I just looked. I believe the ambient temperature is not relatively not much different than it was in half one. And I know Vic posted the start times of like the sim start times of each half. I believe the first half was about 75 degrees, in like about noon or so or 1 o'clock, and now we're kind of more towards the evening portion as the ambient temperature is 73. But the track has cooled down about 13 degrees. I believe it was over 100 degrees, and now it's 87 degrees or 88 degrees if you round up. So I think it's that alone with the different grip from a warm track to probably a little more slicker, I believe, on a warmer track now with the cooling down. Maybe a little bit more grip, and maybe Watson knew it. Maybe someone else did. Again, it's hard to say, but definitely the track conditions have changed, and maybe a lot of these guys not used to it.
Yeah, and again, I mean, with the invert, you've got a new group of guys racing in the first 2 to 3, 4 rows that weren't there the last race. So it's a completely different feel, and how the restarts go is a completely different feel than it was. So very, very different, just to say the least.
Yeah, very different, but what will stay the same here for our first restart once we get back going green, as the field has doubled up. Once we come to lap number 5, David Westergreen, again, competing for a championship in last season. So hopefully to try to rework that magic again, starting the season with a top 10, getting the invert, getting the pole. See how he restarts. We do have Gavin Hibbs in the infield care center. If he sticks around after his restart here a little bit, I'm curious. I know he's had a rough night. Getting a few words in with him will be quite interesting, I think. But without further ado, pace car is going to dive down pit road. Westergreen's going to lead him to the 3-wide TV restart zone. And they're hitting the loud pedal now. See if anyone spins their tires. See a late bloomer there. I think that might be Brett Jones right in the back of the pack. You see here in the back. It's a good start for Westergreen. Ty McIntosh trying to hang on to the outside, but Vincent Isabella looking pretty strong on the inside, going for that second spot.
It is just so hard to start on that high side. I don't think I've seen anybody retain second. I mean, he's going to drop all the way to fifth.
Yes, hopefully if he can duck down right behind the 13 of Dylan Thomas. But a good push there for Thomas, pushing Braxton DeWeese past that 89 car. And now Dylan Thomas, we've seen him pretty sporty all race long, and now he's got that track position. I'm curious to see what your boy in that Sugar Moon Creations Chevrolet is going to do here.
Hey, I'm watching both Sugar Moon Creations cars, the 13 and the 89, run in the top 5, nose to tail, in the Sugar Moon Creations race at Indy. So I am all kinds of sponsor loving it over here right now. But I'm just hoping they don't wreck each other. That's all I ask.
Yeah, that's hopefully that does not play out. But as we see Vincent Isabella trying to chase down David Westergreen, we will bring up Gavin Hibbs, who again had a rough start so far here of the 2023 B season. And Gavin, It didn't start well for you. It didn't end well for you. Kind of explain your night here tonight.
Oh man, but yeah, it's been a pretty rough going, and for Indianapolis is kind of my expectations for myself, but you know, was getting up the pace speed there in the first race, and
Oh, car on the wall there. Oop, sorry.
no, you're good. You know, just rolling off and hitting the back of Braxton there, and I talked to it. I apologized to him, and he said, you know, he should have been rolling, but you know, it's no excuse for me to just run in the back of somebody. I got a little bit distracted on that, but was pretty much just running a few laps down the whole time there. So was just getting ready for this second half race, and you know, to have it end on lap 1 is putting a cherry on top of my night.
Yeah, it's got to be pretty frustrating to start the season, but you know, with that being said, you know, getting a long season, you do have 2 races a night from here on out. You know, next week we do go to Montreal, so we'll be mixing it up here quite a bit from what we're doing tonight. What's kind of your expectations to kind of get that season started to rebound?
Just focus on Montreal right now, and you know, we ran a few laps there last night. You know, just trying to get the grips with the setup and how the car is gonna react. And it's pretty fast there, so I'm kind of expecting to be the same next week. You know, just hoping to get in the top 5 there.
You know, hopefully see you with at least a little bit better luck, 'cause it seemed like you didn't even have some speed out here tonight. But before we let you go, any shout-outs you want to give?
I want to give a shout out to Duck Press Media Solutions, my sponsor. You know, got the night that they were hoping for. Shifty Sports and Seth for bringing me and Joe Francis on. You know, I'm going to be rooting for the rest of those guys the whole way. And also my parent team, Strict Stock Motorsports. You know they're watching too.
Yeah, one question before we do send you off. Are you a little sad you can't run a Subaru out there tonight?
Just a little bit, but you know, I feel like if I did, you know, find my address somehow and show up at my door at like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, he's not a Subaru fan, huh?
I don't know.
But hey, those Fords hopefully are you can for the old Rocket Man, you can turn that season around. I'm pretty sure we'll see up towards the front before things said and done. Just kind of a fortunate start of the season, but best of luck to you, and hopefully next time we talk to you, it's under a lot better circumstances.
Oh yeah, I hope so too.
All right, thank you, Gavin. That's Gavin Hibbs, driver of the number 95 Duck Media Ford, and kind of watching the battle here, Adam. How about Braxton Weiss? I think is this car different now?
Yeah, his paint updated. Braxton DeWeese, goody, look who's running 5th.
Look who's running 5th. How about Ryan Lutz? He's like the land shark now. He's just closing in, and he's putting that bat flip. See, now he's got the different car. That looks more like what I known he was supposed to run, and he does have that car in 5th. And, oh, I didn't even notice. Man, he's repping Mama on there too. I think he's got a little Biscootie's goodies. All right, go Lutzy boy.
And he started in the back. You gotta remember, he started in the back. So
yeah, he's up 12 positions from now 13th now that he's moving into the 4th spot. Things are looking pretty stout there for that number 36 bat flip podcast Chevrolet, and now chasing down Dylan Thomas, trying to go for that 3rd spot. But you know, again, talking about how hard it is to pass and track position being important. You know, we haven't mentioned David Westergreen's name a lot in half number 1, but got that invert, got to oh man, I don't like this. I see who's in the interview waiting now, but we got Westergreen able to keep that lead without making a lot of noise in half number 1.
Yeah, I think that's that clean air is king, right? He's got all the clean air. He's got nobody causing him to get tight or really mess with his car in front of him, so he can kind of hang out there and run his own line, but those guys behind him cannot decide who wants to be in front of the other one.
Yeah, and speaking of, how about your boy in that 13 looking to the inside of Vincent Isabella going for that second spot here. Right now, nothing doing, looking to stay behind as he's got some heat now too from Ryan Lutz, but we'll bring the surprise guest from the interview waiting. You know, he might have something to say, and maybe he'll give us a hint or two of who's in this mysterious Kevin Malone car, but we'll bring back here Shane D. Mantova. How's it going, buddy?
Hey, Goody, how's it going, man?
Not too bad. Are you driving for chance or no?
I'm not driving now.
Huh.
I mean, maybe we just want you to be driving. Maybe that's.
I mean, I certainly do.
I would love for him to.
I miss being in this league and certainly miss being around everybody. It's obviously I just don't have the time right now to do all that traveling and stuff like that. But yeah, I like this whole stick thing you guys got going on, Vic. It's a great idea and it's really freaking cool.
Don't tell Vic he's got a great idea. That's terrible.
Yeah, Vic, this is an awful idea.
You know,
Yeah, I mean, don't tell.
Oh, big wreck,
Oh,
big
there's a
wreck.
wreck. There's a wreck. There's a wreck.
Oh, big wreck.
Big wreck. Unless you knew that.
He said it when I saw it on the broadcast, so I'm gonna go with that.
I'm watching the broadcast right now.
Okay. And it does look like Nick Indelicato involved in that wreck again, so a rough start here for our defending champion. We'll take a look and see what happened. I got some more questions.
Oh,
for Shane
14.
Here, oh, Alex Grates.
Ooh.
Oh, getting the wall Lancer. Oh, and a hard hit to the
I
inside
know.
for the one car of
My drivers
Indelicato.
didn't get involved.
Yeah, and then relatively for how bad that wreck could have been, relatively low car count there as far as the wreck is concerned.
Carlos, you say that. Is it not like the best feeling in the world doing this and owning cars? Like when you see the smoke and it clears and realize it's not one of yours.
Yes, but you know what's a
Yeah.
better feeling? I have never felt this much fun and excitement than this Kevin Malone fantasy driver. I am, dude, I am having such a blast. This is currently my favorite broadcasting moment ever.
But you know, Carlos, I gotta say this. This is not the first time I believe we talked to Shane while he was driving. If he's,
Well, I mean,
if,
the only
if
thing
he's
he's
not-
driving right now is down the highway, maybe.
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
sound
no,
You
pretty
are so
I'm-
content that it's Shane, and you're forgetting that it's not him.
I'm not
Right.
on the driveway. I'm not driveway. I'm not on the highway. I'm just getting ready for Indy here. I got to leave tomorrow for the track.
Oh,
So
what a
busy weekend ahead.
what a professional microphone quality level for being in the car.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, right, right.
That microphone level is really good to be on your cell phone right about now.
well, am I not allowed to work on graphics for this weekend's race?
That's true. He sent me
Pit
two
road.
paint schemes that he made for the weekend.
And yeah, everyone's out pit road. Can you tell us who the paint schemes you made were?
One is for the
Kevin Malone.
34 of Andre Castro. So it's Wings and Wheels Foundation. So that one's pretty cool. Then the other one was really last minute for Alex LeVay. So
Oh,
really
nice.
excited.
Oh.
That's Vic's boy.
Yeah, Vic's boy.
That is my boy. That's why I had him watch, because we were talking last night.
Yeah.
Or if he's racing. Dun dun dun. We'll see who wins the
You guys are
race
so
off
set
the
on it being me.
I-
I don't know why.
I need more hints to shake you off.
I'm pretty
but,
sure it's Johnny.
No, 22% top 10s. Johnny like finished outside of the top 10 like 22% of the time, maybe. Ooh, did Dylan Thomas beat Western Green off pit road?
It looks
I think
that
Dylan Thomas
way.
just won the race off pit road.
Wow.
I also, guys, I want to point out Seth Rawls on the YouTube chat saying, "Oh my, what a night!" and then the crying emoji face. So definitely tough night for Seth Rawls. Seth, if you're hearing, you're welcome to come join us and have a little chat about the night. Maybe run some frustrations. It's horrible night for you.
See, yeah, we don't have Shift Esports representation as we normally would with Matthew in the booth. So yeah, come on in, Seth. We can talk, and don't let any past on track altercations between the two of us prevent you from coming up in the booth. That's for on track only. Just to let you
He
know.
says,
I think he's scared of him. He's scared of you, Goody.
He's scared of me.
Seth
I'm a
Rawls
scary old
says,
country man.
He's packing for his vodka. I'm gonna need it, I think. So he's packing for a cow.
Vodka?
Alpaca? Alpaca?
Oh,
No,
alpaca.
vaca.
Oh.
Vaca.
Oh,
That's
vacay.
cow.
Oh,
Oh.
interesting.
I'm so
Interesting.
confused.
I am too. But I think it's interesting.
Being honest.
One to go. One to green, I should say.
Am I allowed to make a guess? Because I feel like I don't know. I
Yes,
feel
you're
like it's
allowed
gotta
to
be-
make a guess.
Yeah,
I feel like it's got to be one of the ID racing cars. I don't know.
That's what. See, that's why I narrowed it down to you.
Well, then who is it,
I
Shane?
mean, like, if you're
don't know.
implying it's like Austin Beers, I mean, he ran a team for a while. He was banned.
Son of a bitch!
I mean,
Oh my
he's won,
God.
he's won races. He's owned a team.
How
He
did I
doesn't
not
really
He
have
hasn't
that many
driven
top 10s
for
'cause of the
different
amount of wrecks that he
manufacturers.
has. He's driven all three manufacturers. He's definitely won races here. I mean, like, look, I'm not gonna put it out there and say that this is who it is. But
Man, I don't think you would either.
You are
Here's
pushing
one-
so
two
hard for us to get out of this.
Yup.
because I think it's silly for you to think it's Shane when it's not.
I'm
Jane-
just excited for this thing to be over just so we can figure out who it is.
Shane,
I
I
understand.
know
I think-
without a doubt, it is you.
It's Shane. They're going way too far in the weeds. with this.
Yep. They're trying to throw us out of the. Although Austin Beers is now going to be lingering. I'm going to be in my own head for a while.
I mean,
but
the guy would be pretty good at blocking, wouldn't he?
That's fair too. We're
We're not
gonna
going to
get
go
ready.
there.
We're
Right,
gonna get.
Dylan Thomas going back green.
Pace
We're
cars
going
off.
back to the green flag. Dylan Thomas leading the charge. That inside line, getting a great jump. Westergreen maybe spinning the tires there a little bit. And man, that top road not getting the best restart is Isabella and Thomas running
DJ.
away. And oh boy, DJ Weeks.
Does this not just prove why I should be here and not there? When did I ever do this? The car is out front looking beautiful. And it wasn't me.
Is this better than you running? Of course.
Of course it is.
It's way better. Yeah, seeing those beautiful and again that paint scheme is one of the cooler ones too. That pink and black and the well melted wax on there. That's pretty fun.
Yeah, that's all Vic. Thank you, Vic.
Yeah, even though he's trying to throw us off the scent here of Shane racing right now. He's quiet right now because he's too busy driving.
Okay, you guys are talking about the race. I'm not trying to interrupt here.
All right.
I don't know. I just saw that 30 car make like a little left as you were trying to talk. So.
Oh yeah, maybe
There was
Oh,
something.
Oh, contact.
contact between my hand and Damian Leininger there. That was the battle for about 10th position right now, and my hand now kind of losing some positions to Cameron Rich, who's looking to charge up front after that rebound he made so greatly in half number one, kind of falling short because of that big one that happened with just a handful of laps to go. So a lot of these guys looking to make some noises. And Lutz kind of fell back on that pit stop as well. I wonder did anyone take 2 tires or something for track position?
No, everybody took 4 tires from what I can gather.
I was wondering if maybe Lutz was on the outside on the restart.
Oh yeah,
Because-
yeah, the top
You know,
line.
I'm not gonna just throw you off the scent. I'm gonna prove to you right now that it's not Shane.
Oh,
Okay.
boy.
So I got another one. All right.
We're trying
I'll
to
give you
call
this-
a race here, Vic.
I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't care.
we're playing a game here, Adam.
Hey, I love
okay.
all the attention. Let me just say that.
Yeah.
So okay, so
Brought
this
you back into
this
fold
driver has driven cars with a single digit and a double digit on it, but not in the same season.
So it's not Johnny. It's not Johnny
That's
Eckert. It's not Johnny Eckert. I know that.
which is
Shane,
fine because we've already known.
But did Shane ever drive a single-digit number? Shane, did you ever drive a single-digit number?
Yes,
Not
he
that I
did.
remember. I
Didn't
was
he
just
drive the 9?
drove the 20. All I
He
drive is
has.
the 20. That's it.
No, he has filled in on the 9, hasn't he?
And then he got suspended
He's
from
not
the
filled in
league. He got
has not filled
suspended
in
from the
the
league.
I don't remember getting suspended.
No,
Did
he has
you?
not. He has not driven the 9. Shane has driven the 20,
Yeah.
69.
That's it. Oh, that's right.
and There was another double-digit number. I'm just trying to remember what it was.
Oh, I remember I filled in for Brent Jones once.
Yes.
Oh, yep, I do
Okay.
remember that.
Okay, Shane. So now that you've heard that information, if it's not you, then who is it?
I really don't know. I'm stumped now, honestly.
Because I don't even think if you threw the name Austin Beers out there as well, I don't believe, did he run a
He drove the number 3.
Yeah, in the first season of Trucks. I remember that because I made the paint.
That's not ringing a bell, but
What number did you run in the first season of Trucks?
20.
20. I've ran the 20, at least when I was full-time, I ran the 20 every season.
Interesting. But we do, back to the green flag action, we do have Dylan Thomas and Vincent Isabella kind of pulling away from the field here a little bit. Braxton DeWeese kind of leading the second pack. I should say kind of, he is leading that second pack of Western Green, trying to rebound from that bad start on the outside. And right now, I think still winding their P's and Q's. So what lap did they come down pit road here?
14.
14. So, man, that's... No, I was just trying to hear what the driver said.
7 laps ago.
About 7 laps ago. So I still think we're in that range where you're going to have to stretch it out if you want to make it only on 2 stops. I believe. I think they could do it. 14's a little early. I think Brent Jones in half number 1 did come in pit road early, but I believe he had some issues late that kind of prevented him to see where that, or he had that speeding penalty that really hampered him in half number 1.
All right, boys, I'm going to take off here. I appreciate you guys taking the time. I hope, obviously, everybody's doing well, but
yeah, good to hear.
Out this.
Good to hear from you.
Yeah, good to hear from you. We'll
talk to you later
again, maybe in a couple of minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'll see you guys later.
All right, see ya.
There's something he did that I'm not gonna say it until after it's revealed. That makes me know without a shadow of a doubt that it's him.
I think it's him because when he talked one time, the car went low. Literally as he was answering the question on the straightaway. I'm just saying, it happened. I watched. But I do want to say, racing-wise, those guys we were talking about are now all inside the top 10, except for Indocata, who's wrecked out. Francis, Lutz, Leinemann, and Rich are all inside the top 10 now. It took, what, half the race and they're there?
Yeah, and we even seen Lutz up in the top 5 at one point too, so even getting shuffled back here a little bit. But still some pit stops to go that this field can get shuffled. And I think even with where this might play in favor, he's about 4 seconds back from the leader is Cameron Rich in that 10th spot. And just the way he played that game in half number 1, I gotta say, with that experience of doing that, in half number 1, he's got to have a little bit of advantage maybe over these other guys who might maybe burn their stuff up or whatnot. But we'll see how that plays out as we see. I thought that was Watson there. Who's that? Oh yeah, it's Ray Bracey, and he's running that car. I believe is it? I can't remember the driver that's running it. It's the JD Motorsports Expedition 6 car.
Brendan Poole.
Is it the Brendan Poole? And Bracey got his name on the trunk for that car, so he's honoring that. And he's running that toxic waste. I believe that's a sour candy. That's like the atomic sour balls or whatever those were. Yeah, it's kind of the candy like that. So that's kind of what he's running out there. I like how he kept the cat. He kept the cat coming out of the toxic waste bin. Cat's always featured on his cars. Always love that. Always love finding where the cat is.
You find the cat in Zach's scheme.
Is there a cat? Zach's scheme? There is.
Well,
a cat on scheme?
Unless Bracey has been lying.
I don't know. It could be.
I was told that there would secretly be a cat in all of Zach's paint schemes this season.
Ooh, I like it.
Interesting.
I do like it. We'll see if we get a look at his car there. Again, that Dick Trickle White Knight throwback. Got V5 back on the hood of his machine. That's
never left.
They never left. Well, I mean, switching teams, man. That's where I'm going with that. But You know, he maybe going after my own heart there. Dick Trickle, Wisconsin short track legend. Of course, if you remember, if you're old enough, running in the Cup Series, getting a couple Xfinity Series wins as well. A legend in motorsports racing. No Pabst Blue Ribbon card. He put. I did see he had Pabst on the car. I was.
Woo!
Oh, caution's up.
Caution.
Oh, okay. That was close because
Capuano.
blood.
Ooh,
They were about to
hard
wreck
hit
again.
Looked like he got a pretty good lick on the outside wall.
Although you're right, Lutz did almost turn himself.
Yes, that's what I was watching. And I will say I was getting ready to also say that we were getting ready to be at that time where the comers and goers were going to start happening. The guys who burnt their tires versus guys who saved.
Ooh.
And
Monkey see,
It looked
monkey
like
do.
It looked like from the get-go, Capuano just got in a bad, like almost out of the groove there a little bit, and on the corner exit, I think just, ooh, yeah, went in loose, and it's gonna push, and maybe snap a little bit. Oh,
who's that hit the wall in front of him that he followed?
yeah, it looked like a little monkey see, monkey do. Just a couple cars ahead. Was that? Looked like another black car. I don't know if it was Dewar or I think they were racing for position there a few laps before that. I can't tell who that was.
I think it was Dewar or the 91 of
Grates.
Cooper Johnson.
Or no, it's Cooper. Yep, Cooper. It might have been Dewar because I believe it was the lead car. So hopefully, not too much damage on that 32. Because, man, the boys are having a rough night here.
So are we sitting on 2 sets of tires?
Oh, they have 3 in the pits to start, so.
3 in the pits. So it's gonna be interesting to see if they come down pit road. And it's, man,
I think he ran long enough. I think you got to.
I think you got to, but also you come down pit road now. Maybe
I
some of
say
these
you
guys
come
in the
back
top
again.
off. Top off. It's going to be close. We've seen again DJ Weeks right on that bubble about 20 laps, but you know we're going to be close once we get restarted. So it's this is going to be fun strategy wise. But I guess if a caution comes out after this, that's all null and void there. Let's see if Dylan
but you're
Thomas.
you're already in the bag. Why not? Why not pit as they come?
Well, I think you almost have to because you will have a puncher's chance at stretching out fuel. Let's see if Dylan Thomas can repeat that magic off of pit road. Left side's going on. Oh, looks like Lutz took 2 tires.
The 30 took 2 tires.
Oh yeah, you mean Shane took 2 tires and Vincent.
No, it's funny you bring up Shane. What you've missed is that, like, our guy's been sitting in Discord this whole time.
I don't know that.
I'm telling you, I mean, isn't there anybody in the Discord channels here who's just been sitting there the whole time?
I don't know. I don't have that up. Give me a second. I'll tell you.
All right. Anyway, so next, now that we're at a race break, so this driver in his starts, only 18% of them have been in the top 5. Finish wise. And you know what? I'll give you the last one if you'd like. So this guy, you know, no, I'm gonna wait.
Oh, do I dare say it?
Nope.
Do I dare?
Hey, I know who it
If it's not Shane. Man,
I would have never guessed that.
could it be?
Top ops. Weeks, Leininger, Evans,
Top off,
topping
yeah.
off. I think you can do it from here.
And
Bath.
DJ Weeks down pit road, he's a guy, I'm looking at that 97. We've definitely seen him stretch. He knows what he has to do. That's going to be one of my favorite guys who I think can definitely pull off this strategy if it does come into play.
I think Leininger also would be someone to really pay attention to.
Shane,
Yeah.
once again, only typing on the YouTube chat during caution conditions or after the race.
Yeah, but now he's thrown shade at a. Hold on, I gotta look now. I gotta look. Can Vic, can I quickly look at?
Dude, we'll
Dana
talk
Lee's
about
Sim
you
Racers
typing
Club?
in Discord. We'll talk about you typing in Discord at the end of the race once it's confirmed it's you.
I mean, I'm not gonna tell you that you're gonna find what you're looking for statistic-wise.
I'm not looking for the statistics per se. I'm looking for a particular name.
If it's not Hank Steinmiller, I mean, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I don't think it is. I don't think it is.
You don't think it's what?
I think that was his. I don't think that was Vic's shot at throwing us off. Personally,
I do too.
All right, go. Pace car's off.
Yeah, pace car is off pit road. We're getting ready to go back to green. We're still trying to figure out who the Sting is, but we do know Ryan Lutz got the lead again here. See if he can hold on to it.
he is on 2 tires. Do we confirm that he is on 2 tires?
He is on 2 tires. Vincent Isabella, I believe. On the same strategy, hitting the wall off of exit of turn 2.
Oh, and Shane's stuck on the
field's
outside.
gonna jump off. And he's sideways. 3 wide on exit. Oh boy. Everyone's going around Shane or Kevin. He's taping down the backstretch. That's why he's slow. and
He's
really
probably got it keyed up as "it's not me" as a push button already.
But we now the field kind of settling down there after the contact or the outside wall for Shane Malone, as now the car of the 13. I was kind of keeping an eye on him. I believe he's the car who won with 4 tires. See if he can go through the field. He had some pretty good pace. Sorry, leading this race, but man, Lutz maybe only needing those 2 tires, man. He's looking pretty stout, putting down some halfway decent lap times here.
Wanting to loosen that car up a little bit for him out there in clean air.
Yeah. His car's behind him, still getting hot and heavy behind him. Ty McIntosh trying to make a move on his old teammate. Both guys on new teams last year, both on Shift Esports or S2 Racing. I can't remember what Ty McIntosh was officially on. Was he on S2? I don't remember now. Shift. He was on Shift. So yeah, they're both teammates on Shift, man. Coming down 20 laps to go, and again, the big thing, Adam, if this does go green, it is still, I think, going to be on that outer edge, but I think there's a possibility some of these guys can at least push that clutch in enough and coast it and make it the rest of the way.
I mean, I would think, right? I mean, I don't think you're going to go a lap down.
Oh, Shane's saving so hard right now.
So I think you have to be. I mean, I don't understand why Shane is saving because he didn't come back and top off. But like DJ Weeks, Leinemann, Staff, Evans, those guys, I don't think there's no way those are running full throttle right now.
Yeah,
we were on board with Staff, and even though he was kind of throttling it in the backstretch, he let off the gas really, really early and was coasting it for the last part of it.
So, and that's going to be the thing, with especially these guys that did top off right with 1 to go. They might not need to even clutch it. Some of these guys, if you're Shane Malone, might have to be clutching it right now to save enough, just off that little bit of extra gas you burned out of that extra pace lap. So it's still going to be really close, but I'm thinking if you're DJ Weeks, you just change that entry, back up that entry a little bit, maybe get on the gas a little bit later. I don't think you have to do anything too drastic to save that fuel. But, you know, the thing is, if you're, say, about a half a lap short or a lap short current fuel, you know, it's 2.5 miles. It's a long way around this racetrack. So, yeah, if you think you can coast it around, it might be harder than you think. So it's going to be interesting. And look at that gaggle of cars here. That front.
These
pack
cars are not saving.
No, they're not worried about it, and that's what from 6th on up.
They know there's going to be a caution.
The top 3 on 2 tires, and then the next 3 on 4. Correct?
Do we know? Because Vincent Isabella in 2nd and David Westergreen in 3rd all have lap times. Oh, sorry, excuse me. All have pit stop times of 14 plus.
Okay.
By the way, Seth Rawls, putting on the YouTube chat underneath Shane DiMontova's green flag attempt, saying it's not me with no exclamation point, saying S2 and then shift. So that's what
that's
Ty was in.
The team history of Ty McIntosh. So yeah. So at least I had the S2 in there somewhere. I remember.
Dylan has a run on David, getting into turn 1 here.
Oh yeah, they look like they were trying to side draft each other a little bit, but it looks like Dylan's gonna take the 3rd position away. Now he's got his eyes set on Vincent Isabella, and man, I kind of thought it's again. I believe what was the pit stop time for Lutz?
9.82 seconds.
So he for sure took 2 tires, but that clean air definitely helping him, but not being able to pull away. And now Dylan Thomas, man, oh man, he is going for it. He's going to move into that 2nd spot, passing Vincent Isabella. Not quite clearing him yet.
He is so much faster on the exit than the other guys right now. I mean, that's just where he's eating them up. He's sliding sideways coming off the exit, but he's making it work.
And that's the thing. If these guys aren't saving, then they're thinking they're going to maybe have to hit pit road. And maybe just, if you have enough time, take 2 tires. If you burn off that right rear tire a little bit, it might not affect you too much. But, you know, the biggest enemy is maybe is time. What's going to be the time of being on and off pit road? If you just take a splash and go, you might be able to pull away from some of these guys that think they can make it. A lot of these guys aren't too far back right now, but still.
Bracket in the back.
Go. Oh, Darren Staff in the outside wall. And I can't tell who's right behind him. Oh, it's kind of Jones, 73.
Oh no, not the Land Shark.
And Landshark got bit. Darren Staff, a weird spot to get turned. I don't know what happened there. There was contact involved, but weird spot just. Is that really weird netcode? Again, with kind of Jones being in Australia, he's had some internet issues in other leagues this week. You know, with being on different servers. I don't know if that's what played into it. It's just a weird angle. I mean, it looked like Kynan was coming down on exit, just a different angle on the corners. But just the way Dylan's car reacted before, it looked like they even touched it. What do you guys think? I'm thinking maybe netcode there.
I think netcode made it worse than it was going to be, but they were going to hit. I just think netcode made it way worse than it should have been.
Yeah, and maybe just, it looked like maybe light contact that would have, you know, we've seen Westergreen and a couple of those guys make some contact going into the corners, but on a straightaway, it shouldn't have been that violent the way it was. So the Aussie netcode.
So that was a racing incident. 73 goes slightly down, the 45 comes up as well, and netcode also plays a contributing factor.
So
that is the official calling on that one.
All right, I think that's fair. I think that's it. Peeler, I think you called it.
Oh, thank you.
Inevitable. So now everyone's down pit road
they're
again
gonna
here.
Pit? They're gonna pit?
And everyone's gonna be able to make it. But do we see guys, especially guys in the back, stay out? DJ Weeks.
I think there's too many laps. I think there's too many laps.
Too many laps, but do we see more 2 tires? It worked for Lutz. This is going to be interesting. I'm surprised my old boy like Dustin didn't try something off the wall to see if it sticks.
I think this is what Lutz needed, because I don't know if Lutz was going to be able to hold off Thomas for much longer, but this is going to put him back on equal ground.
Equal ground, and I think what helps Thomas as well is it looked like he was driving pretty hard. Now he can.
Deweese is first off.
Yep, Deweese. I think Vincent got another good on and off.
Dylan's going to lose tons of spots.
It seems like he's been having a little issues getting off pit road, except for that one he won the race off pit road. He's going to fall all the way back into about, I think, 7th when it's all said and done. Ooh, OSCA daddy, Tim Conrad. He's going to be in that 6th position.
Is that Deweese is our new player at the front.
At the front, taking the 2 tire gamble here, trying to get a hold off Lutz, who I believe took 4 tires that time.
That's hard. I think that's going to be hard, holding off Lutz on 4 tires.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. But can he hold him off long enough? Now we got Cameron Rich up there. We've seen We've seen the speed. He has the fastest lap of the half here, sitting in that 4th position. So if Deweese
guys.
gets lots enough bits.
Look at that. Vic
What?
bullied Austin Beers into getting in the YouTube chat so we can talk about him.
Oh my goodness. Oh, this is.
I mean, dude, look, getting the guy to go on his phone while in the car was difficult. Okay.
I think this is Vic's like magic way of getting everybody back into OSCA for next season and having a 40-car field.
You have no idea.
Austin Beers just got back from.
Well, you know, he just said. Well, Beers just said he just got back working in the car. I don't think it's Austin Beers. I'm still thinking it's Shane Picanto.
I don't.
I'll give you the last hint if you want.
Yeah.
All right, so this driver, up until this point, has raced in 1/4 of the OSCA races ever held. So there's your last hint for the night.
Then it's
Figure that
definitely
one
not
out.
Austin Beers.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. He's
No,
raced.
it's not.
I said at least 1/4, didn't I?
Oh,
Sorry. I'm
you
in.
and your wordplay.
Oh my goodness.
All right,
You
let's
gotta be like
focus.
that.
Let's focus on the race for these last 11 laps.
Oh, now you want to focus.
we gotta play commentator at least at some point. We're maybe letting the game distract us a little too much here, but definitely something's gonna be on the back of my mind. I'm not gonna lie to you. But yeah, Braxton Deweese, can he hold off the guys with 4 fresh tires behind him?
I think Vince is in the catbird seat because I think Vince can clear Lutz in the second and then go get Deweese.
We'll see if Deweese can also not spin the tires on this restart. I thought maybe did I see Vince spoiler for that? No, I believe it's good for the 8 car, no damage. So getting close to the 3 wide TV restart zone, getting the restart with 11 laps to go, and a pretty good restart. But I think Isabella got a pretty good jump as well. He's gonna get on the inside of Lutz.
Lutz is going to be held out on the outside. He might even drop 2 or 3 spots.
Yeah, he's got now Cameron Rich, that stout 29 car on the inside. Oh, he blocks him. He's going to stay in front. That was an aggressive move by Ryan Lutz.
That was insane. I thought that
Wow.
was going very badly.
It very well could have, but Lutz, the bad boy Lutz, he's making moves. They're trying to catch Braxton Deweese, trying to hang on to that lead. He's trying to snake a little bit, maybe a little too early to be too aggressive with it. You got to time, though, when you snake down the straightaways, you got to time that right. You don't want to
Caution,
put
caution.
a bad angle in the corner. Oh.
Bojo. Oh, big wreck.
Oh,
Westergreen.
Western. Oh, and a late hit with Dewar, I believe. He was blinking in and out there.
Oh, me no fine.
Me no fine. Oh, someone hurt that
Cooper
car.
Johnson.
Cooper Johnson, no front end. I think another car back there trying to turn around as well. Oh, I think that might be my pick, Ty McIntosh. Started ahead. It might be with that 89. Oh, and hard lick. Ty McIntosh and Westerling getting together, hooks him in the outside wall, and the chaos ensues behind him. Let's see what kind of started that.
There are 2 separate
West-
incidents.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
It looks like Ty got into David Westergreen on entry for the first wreck, and then the back wreck I haven't seen. That's what I think happened on the first wreck. I think Ty got it a little hot.
There is 2 wrecks here. The 7 self spins and the 9 as well. Has that contact with 89 reviewing right now.
Yeah, and that's gonna be, I think, a tough one to review because
Oh,
it
you
looked
can
like
see it right there.
it looks like the 89 came in last second. He came in pretty hot, and I don't know if Westergreen thought he was gonna be there at that point.
So we'll take a
And
look.
it
We'll
did
take a
go a
look
lot
at
of
the
road.
89. The 7 overdrove the corner and panicked with the other drivers checking up ahead of him. And so that's kind of what got him. We saw the 43 do that in the first half, in the first part of this half. Let's take a look at the 89.
Oh,
I don't know. I think he's there.
he looks like he's there. Yeah, it's
So the official call here is number 7 gets an EOL for a self spin. The 89 and 9 do not get anything. It's a racing incident.
Okay.
It did.
Yeah, that's a racing incident.
I originally thought the 89 got in there hot, but after looking back at it, I think he was there and rode the white line around. So I think
He
that's
did.
definitely a racing incident.
And he did push up ever so slightly, and I think Westergreen came down ever so slightly. So I do like the call of racing incident, but we'll see what the 89 car thinks as we'll bring him up into the booth. And man, it looked pretty close there. It was pretty tight racing between you and the 9. What was your kind of outlook between the contact between you two?
I mean, I wasn't expecting him to slow down as much as he did on entry. I was already making a move on Cooper, and then, I mean, when he started slowing down, I figured that I was going to get the room because I was there. And then I just kind of didn't get that. So, I mean, it's unfortunate. It's race 1. It's kind of, we have to take what moves we can here because it's hard to pass here, let alone really with this car. But it was fun, man. I hate that happened. I hate it.
Yeah, it looked like you're charging up through the field there again. It looked like you had a stout car, but you know, unfortunately, it's going to be a rough night overall for you. You did have a pretty good run here in half number 1. Not going to be quite the way you wanted to in half number 2, but again, early in the season, and we'll expect you to see the rebound, be in that playoff hunt when things are said and done. But next week, Montreal, with these high horsepower machines, how you feeling going into next week?
How do I explain this? I don't even know, man. You ever have seen that video of the guy with the bike that stole a TV going down the road?
I might have. I think I know what you're talking about, but I'm not 100% sure.
It's going to look something like that. It's not going to be good.
It's not going to be good.
No, it's not going to be good at all. Not for me, anyways.
Hey, but you never know. Just keep her between the ditches. You might end up all right. But we are getting ready for the restart. So before we do, any shout-outs you want to give?
Yeah, I want to give a shout-out to Sugar Moon Creations. Did I say that right, Adam? Did I say that right?
You got it. You got it.
First time. Hey, yeah, you know, they've hopping on the car, and FHD's back as well. So that's sick. Obviously, Nurse Aviator on Twitch. It's on the side of the car. It's a little smush now, but it's still there. My teammates, Dylan has done phenomenal tonight. I'm really excited to see what he does the rest of the season. He was carrying Nathaniel and I, and something happened there. But overall, I'm very, very excited to see what this team does the rest of the season. Tonight was really nice.
It was cool. It was really nice to look up there and see 3 of the 4 cars in the top 10. I'm very excited for this season.
It felt good.
Yeah, it felt good. We'll look to see you guys up front some more, and do it for the brand. Do it for Sugar Moon, baby. We'll see you back up here. And again, as always, you know we're going to talk to you next time under better circumstances.
I hope so. I'm just trying to watch my mouth. I don't want potty mouth anymore. I'm trying to watch it.
Yeah, you're changed. You're a grown man now. All right, I like the SpongeBob emoji here in Discord. That's pretty.
Oh
fun.
yeah.
All right, the green flag is back out. Braxton DeWeese leads the field to the green flag. 7 laps to go. Vincent with a decent start.
Oh man, he just slammed the door on Lutz.
And Lutz kind of gave Lutz a taste of his own medicine here, and I believe they're teammates. So interesting that they maybe kind of worked it out. Yeah, but maybe not as close as what it ended up being. But
weren't there some history between them two at some point?
They always
block.
There might be history in the making right now. These two guys are known for racing the wheels off and giving 110% every lap. So I'm sure that they've made contact between the two. Being teammates, and Cameron Rich right now, maybe just biding his time to see what happens between these two rack racing Chevrolets ahead of them, seeing if they can close in. You see the rack racing boys, close. We're seeing in the radiator here on that camera.
There are some very big blocks being thrown from about 11th through 15th as well. Just so you're aware, I do not see us getting back without a caution. There are some very big blocks being thrown.
Yeah, it's going to be close, and we're going to come into 5 laps to go next time they hit the line. Man, Joe Francis, how about his night? He's worked his way up to the top 5. We've seen him run in the top 5 for most of half number 1. Got involved in the late wreck. Kind of slowly, methodically working his way up into the top 5 right now. And he's got those gaggle of cars ahead of him that definitely could be making some moves here. As again, coming to the stripe, 5 to go. Braxton DeWeese still holding on for now.
Oh, Shane's in the wall.
Shane's in the wall, that 30 car. Oh, Cameron Rich looking to the inside, trying to take a peek on the inside of Lutz, trying to make him nervous.
I think these three guys need to work together to get by DeWeese. Like, they need to get in line, put him on the outside. Oh, here we go.
He went wide. He went wide in that corner. That really closed that gap. DeWeese has got to block it inside, but he's got to move up if he wants a good entry on the corner here. Oh, contact! Look at Cameron Rich power moving on the outside into third, trying to make a move for second. Oh, man, it might not work. I think Isabella kind of impeded his progress there. He's going to have to fall back into fourth. But, man, he was muscling his way on the outside, trying to make a move, and he's got to regroup.
Here comes Joe.
That's what I'm saying.
He brought Joe Francis into the fray. And here comes Cameron Rich to the outside of Lutz again. Can he make that move stick again? But I think, like you said, these guys are going to almost battle themselves out of between Braxton, DeWeese, and Isabella. If they keep side by side.
I was hoping they would just, understand that in the moment. Say, okay, we'll put Braxton DeWeese to the outside here. We'll all go by him, and then we can race it out. But they just kept racing each other, and they're about to take themselves out of it.
And I wonder, Vincent trying to make moves to get by Braxton DeWeese, but can't quite make that move. Might need a little help from his teammate Lutz if he can get back up there.
Also, I'd like to point out, Lutz and Cameron Rich have a history in other leagues before.
Yeah, so this could be interesting. That's it seemed to me like a way more aggressive move than I've normally seen Cameron Rich make, and he really wants to get by that 36. I'm sure he wants to beat him. He's going to take a look again going into turn one, and I think Lutz this time.
There it is. Vince moved him up the track.
Yep, he's going to make that move, and now that's going to close that gap between Cameron Rich.
Oh, contact!
Oh, Braxton! Oh, he tried to hang on. Oh, boy. And now Cameron Rich is there. Now Lutz is going to look on the inside, too. No, here comes Cameron Rich with a good run. He's driving all the way down to the grass. Can he make the move going down into turn three? And Cameron Rich to the lead. Isabella looks to cross him over on exit into the short chute. Man, oh man, Isabella losing a little bit of momentum. Again, the fastest lap ran by Cameron Rich. Can he pull away from the two rack racing Chevys? Now that's his weird time. You guys can work together. Look at the other cars that have joined this fray. Nathaniel Cherry, Damian Leininger, DJ Weeks. Wow. This is a battle, 2 laps to go. Isabella still hanging on. Oh! Lutz is trying to hang on, buddy.
Keep it down there. Keep it down there.
And he's going to
be a caution.
He
Caution's
tried hanging
out.
on. Oh, and he backs into the outside wall. He tried hanging on to it. He tried to keep it full speed on that apron. And Lutz not happy, letting the field go by. Unfortunately, a good run for him. Goes up in smoke. We'll see that contact between Joe Francis and... Okay, looks like Joe did come down a little bit onto Lutz.
Looked like Joe was super loose getting off that corner and was chasing the car down into Lutz.
Yeah, on that outside line, he's trying to hang on. You don't lift in times like these with only a handful of laps to go. Now we'll be at another green-white checkered situation. Joe coming down just a little bit. Lutz.
Oh, it looks like he throttled it to hopefully maybe drift through the corner on the inside access road, or to spin it into the grass. But there was no. I don't think anybody could do that in this track here at that speed.
No, and again for him too, like he's hoping, he could drift that corner, drift it out, stay off of everyone else's car, so he doesn't. He made some pretty heavy contact into the outside wall, and that's definitely not what he wanted to do. Boy,
let's see. 37 was the last time. It's 12 laps.
If you're the top 5, I don't think you can.
I don't think he can, but there could be someone, like Shane in that 30 car. Maybe he comes down, takes some tires.
What's that Larry Mack saying? Pit box is packed up. They're on the truck waiting on you. Like,
yep, we're done. Yeah, I think. You made the bed, you got to lay in it here. And there might be some guys in the back. Like Richard Hines, I've seen 16th. Might be worth a gamble. See if he comes down pit road and get some fresh tires.
Wow, nobody's
see if any
going
takers.
Oh, Shane!
Shane, almost hits the inside wall.
Definitely him.
Queuing up
because
a
he heard
message.
what we said. Definitely him.
See, he was typing as he was coming on pit road. We're convinced now.
Vic, you maybe, like, I don't know how it is outside of the commentary world here, but you have done the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, most other people, unless they follow weekly, they might not be able to keep up with most of what we're trying to do here unless you tune in every week. But if you're a follower of the OSCA Weekend Woodman series, this has been a fun game. So it's I'm enjoying myself.
I'm glad you guys are enjoying this. I'm enjoying you guys being wrong. So.
Oh, you would say that to try to one less Hail Mary attempt to try to pull the wool over our eyes.
You try to make us think it was Austin Pierce. So.
I mean, he even said in the YouTube chat it was him. He said he was up to P12, bro.
Who said that?
Mm-hmm. He did.
The guy driving that car is not driving nearly as aggressive as Austin Pierce drives.
Well, maybe he turned his, aggression down for this.
Okay.
Like we both know, but that's funnier than it needs to be. Okay.
Oh man. But yeah, anywho. Not as many takers on pit road. I thought maybe you'd see guys in the second half try to take a gamble, take advantage of those fresh tires. But with that, I think it goes without saying. You look at where Cameron Rich started this race back in 25th. Again, we've seen him do it in half number one, but to take the lead, he had some stout competition to pass in Vincent Isabella, Ryan Lutz, in Elcano when he was still in this race too, but able to work his way up to have this position to win half number two. Hey,
by the way,
it's still, I think, a lot up to grab here. Yeah.
In the Discord, Brent Jones said that he can't believe, can't believe I fought back from all that in the first 51 laps just to money shift right when I got into the top 20.
Oh, that also is one of the worst feelings.
That's a gut check. That's what that is.
Mm-hmm.
Almost as bad as Vic planning out this whole thing and us immediately realizing it is Shane DiMatteo.
Yeah, it's it is who
Like,
it is.
At least it's been a fun game, even if you did figure it out.
So
It is
here's my
so
question.
fun.
Oh yeah, because I mean, there's still shades of doubt. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm still sticking with Shane. I'm not saying it's 1,000% slam dunk. Put it to bed. I know it's not Austin Pierce. Not totally. I know it's not Hinkstein. But anyway, we have an attempt here. Our first attempt at a green, white, checkered. So with these old tires, we're gonna make sure no tire spinning. See if Cameron
We're not
Rich.
going this time.
Oh,
no,
we're not
they
going.
were stacked up too hard in the back.
Ooh, little
Okay,
tease.
waving off.
Race control, not happy
Ooh.
we destroyed his game in race one. He's here for the final.
Being a little sour. Being a little sourpuss there, but also it looked like those guys were, as Vic said, they were stacked up pretty good. That might have been a bowling alley gone wrong on the front stretch if they would have restarted. It's almost let them make their first mistake and make that second attempt. Wasn't that what Pam used to do to Michael when we'd transfer calls? She'd have a fake. She'd make him do a fake one and then do the real one. It's kind of like that.
Well, Goody, you know where you stick your sour grapes?
The sour grapes? No, I don't remember.
You know where you stick your grapes? In the fridge.
What's that from? I don't remember that.
That's from The Office.
I don't remember that. I got not. I'm due for a rewatch. It's been a few years.
It was when Robert California was like drunkenly like closing some branches, and Dwight and Jim were like just busy like getting as many like clients as they could, and then Andy said something.
Oh.
And Dwight was like, well, Jim, tell him where he can stick his grapes. And Jim goes like, in the fridge. And Dwight goes like, no, in his butt.
I do kind of remember that now. Those are one of the seasons I haven't rewatched as much as the first couple, so that's maybe why it slipped my mind. But hopefully these guys don't slip the tires once we go back to green still. First of 2 of a green-white checkered restart. The pace truck dives, gonna dive down pit road here. Gonna get ready to go to that 3-wide TV restart zone. And on the loud pedals, Cameron Rich looks like most of the field getting through the gears pretty smooth here. But Cameron Rich has got a pretty lead going down to turn 1.
It looks like Vincent, Isabella, DeWeese all got in line. Joe did not have a good restart.
No, and he was, I believe, restarted on the inside as well, and kind of getting shuffled back, get passed by Damian Leininger, and now he moves up into that 4th position. Fanning up behind him. How about Braxton with those 2 tires? Still making moves here, making a look on the inside of Vincent Isabella. See if those old 2 tires can stick. Oh, pushing up a little bit. He's got 2 more rack racing Chevrolets around him. One guy the same, the other guy different in Damian Leininger. Now coming to the white flag. Looks like it's all Cameron Rich right now, pulling away about a 2nd lead over Braxton DeWeese. Again, wheeling it with those 2 fresh tires, trying to hold off Vincent Isabella and teammate Damian Leininger, who are battling now for that 3rd spot. And shuffle to the outside. It says, oh, in the wall, Braxton DeWeese.
Save it.
And he will. But, ooh, Isabella's going to be looking hungry. Oh! Jerry, hang on!
Jerry saved it, and then he got bumped from behind.
Oh, he got bumped from behind, I believe.
That was from Dallas. Dallas just couldn't check up anymore. It's on the last lap, too.
It was just too tight that time of the race. So
Jerry was just going for it.
Yeah, and it's go time, seeing if DeWeese can hang on. But coming on at turn number 4, he's come from the back to the front several times, but he'll take the checkered flag here in the Sugar Moon's creation. 400K half number 2.
And they're wrecking in the back.
And there's a lot of wrecking going on in the back. Oh boy. A lot of tempers flaring here to wind out this race. Oh, they're still wrecking Kynan Jones.
Oh, Matt,
oh my god.
What's that, Matt Malone?
Shane DiMantova driving backwards in typical Shane form.
Oh,
and a wreck right as they hit
so
the line.
now that this race is over, I will tell you. Obviously the gig was up. This guy really was the stick tonight.
I was right.
He was. He was right off the bat.
Yep.
It was what?
It was Shane.
Yeah,
we were right.
I was right. Now I'm happy.
You know Vic were plotting the whole race just to try to throw you guys off.
But
Shane, I'll tell you the moment I knew, but I'm gonna let my driver, my other driver, get hit. Do some celebratory donut. That's gonna come out of Dallas's pocket.
Yep, yeah, he's due on that one. But I can't remember when I first made the Johnny Eckert pick, and there was something that kind of threw me to you. I can't remember that early on in the going. But the single digit number, I will say, threw me off. What single digit number did you run?
6. I filled in for Zach Evans. I completely forgot about it. Vic reminded me.
I don't see. I remember the Brett Jones fill in, but I do not remember the Zach Evans. So that's interesting. And but it must have been a one start of the season. Oh yeah, we'll go through the results here again. Cameron Rich getting that win. Damian Leininger 2nd. Joe Francis 3rd. Braxton DeWeese 4th. Vincent Isabella rounds out your top 5. Again, a strong showing for that number 13 Sugar Moon's creation Chevrolet as he finishes in the 6th position. 7th Adam Tepe. Good overall night for him as well.
Quiet
Dallas,
night.
quiet, steady night. Good start for the season for him. Dallas Myhand in 8th and DJ Weeks 9th, and James Watson rebounds from that early mishap in half number 2 to get round out the top 10. And I just got to point out, how about Richard Hines? Boo to Vic, picking on Hines. Well, so now that we for sure know it's you, because there was, I will say, I pretty sure knew it was you, but you guys did keep at least me in my own head and having a little bit of doubts. I will admit. And
they had me in my own head until Like I said, there was one point on the front stretch where someone
Yep,
asked Shane a question and it caught him off guard. And as he was answering, the 30
Yep.
car turns to the left. And I was like,
I noticed
that's
that as well. Yep, I did see that, but
Yeah. Okay.
no, that's where I was kind of pretty sure. And I want to know Carlos's point too, because I'm kind of curious about that.
So, I played a little mind game with him. I waited for a caution on the Discord, and I shot him a message wanting to see if he would respond to me under caution, which he did. And then it's in my head, it's like, okay, now I'm going to respond to him under green and see if he responds. Now, this is what got you. Hold on. This is what got you. You responded, but on the Discord, I saw Shane DiMantova typing on the straightaways, and then right before you got into the corner, it would disappear. And then as soon as you got in the backstretch, it would say Shane DiMantova typing, and then it would disappear.
So it's just going both ways.
So I like the mind games. I like how you guys got viewers involved. I mean, you brought a lot of different possibly correct
Wasn't
answers.
planned.
That was not me
Getting
at all.
beers involved wasn't planned.
Beers are not involved. You had Steinmiller, sitting there, because I know he normally does a lot of crew chiefing and spotting for his teams, but you never know. That it threw me off there a little bit. But there's a lot of games that made this definitely fun. But now that we know it's you, and you did get that half #1 win, let's talk about it, man. That was pretty cool. Kind of fell into your lap a little bit. You seemed like you had some decent pace, but again, track position being so important. How did you hold him off with those older tires the way you did?
That race was so hectic. I was just driving the wheels off that thing, man. It was crazy. I was sending it. I was sending it in there all race long.
Send it.
We started in the back, did not have a good qualifying run, and struggled a little bit in practice, but slowly made our way through the field, and then had that late race caution, and I probably pit 5-6 laps before that, and I saw everybody pit, and I was like, okay, this is my opportunity to have some fun here. I'm out here having a good time, obviously with a great group of people, and I was like, you know what, let's change it up here. And so we stayed out, and I had 2 other people stay out behind me, and had those, I think it was 2 or 3 restarts, and man, but the tires were definitely gone on the last lap, and I forget whoever it was behind me. They were running me down. I just was watching my mirror in 4, and I thought I was about to choke it, honestly, but I'm honestly just really glad I got this opportunity and got to be here, and it was a hell of a time.
Yeah, and what are the odds? Because again, it seemed like you were fighting kind of mid-pack. You weren't having the best of pace. To be honest, and for that to fall in your lap the way it did, and the way this game turned out, it was definitely fun to see you up front too. What I didn't realize though with that stat, I knew you were kind of maybe always maybe a checkers or wreckers kind of guy. I didn't realize your top 10 numbers were that bad.
Yeah, I kind of struggled back in the day. I certainly wasn't the best driver. Proud to say I've worked on some of my racing, but yeah, I was a little rough around the edges, and Vic's known me since the beginning, and that was really, really rough times.
I mean, aren't you just still barely over the age of like 20, if that?
Yeah, I turned 19 this year, so.
Oh, so there you go. So not even 20 yet. Yeah, and I've even raced with you for several years now too. So you're just a puppy yet. Yeah, so you got time to learn on that racecraft.
Yeah, I honestly I don't even get on much anymore, and I messaged Vic about something about that last minute paint, and then he messaged me this morning and says, "Hey, you want to race?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah, I got nothing going on." So here I was.
Yeah, I'm hoping we get to see you at least a few more times. Maybe not in the stick car, but filling in some role. That'd be pretty fun to see. But the other thing I want to hit at again before we let you go too, talk us a little bit more what you're doing with the designing the paint schemes and stuff like that. That's I think this is, I know last season too you had one in the ARCA series that hit the track.
Yeah, so I'm currently interning at an agency right now that works with a couple drivers that race, or one full-time Xfinity driver and some part-time Xfinity and truck guys, but that's not where this came from. I actually connected with a guy that I go to college with, and he actually races late models, and he's getting set here to make his ARCA start later in the year, but me and him have just really been working together on but getting him those opportunities. And we kind of threw a pitch to a company, and they love the car, but they're like, yeah, we're gonna use our funding for the Indy Road Course for an Xfinity race. And then they came back 2 weeks later and said, hey, we want to use that car for the Xfinity race. And I was like, oh yeah, I was super pumped and excited. And then last night there was a last minute deal put together for a sponsor, and it was like 12:30, and my boss, the one who put together the deal, and my good friend that I go to school with, they both them put the deal together, and they're like, do you have time to do this? And I was like, yeah, of course, I'd love to have another car on track. So yeah, got 2 cars on track this weekend at Indy in the Xfinity Series, so that's really exciting. Number 34 and 35, and then we should be having a few ARCA paint seats coming out later this year.
That should be pretty fun. I can't wait to see the cars on track this weekend. They'll be pretty fun to see, especially Vic's boy, Alex LeBay. Ever since knowing that Vic's a fanboy of him, I always keep a note out when I'm watching him run Xfinity Series. That's going to be pretty fun. But with that, I guess, any shout-outs that you want to give?
Yeah, just Vic, obviously, for putting this all together, and Weekend Woodsmen, everybody that sponsors this series. What was it? The Sugar Moon Creation, shout out to them, and obviously all of you guys for doing the broadcast. This is just super fun, and I love the enthusiasm and energy throughout the whole entire broadcast, and I'm glad I've got to bring some excitement out here to the racetrack.
You certainly did that. You might be even sometimes distracted us a little bit, but now that we get used to how the game's played,
I distracted myself too at the same time.
right, and we'll get used to it as we figure out who the Stig is every week. Because if people out there watching ever watch Top Gear, that was always kind of the fun thing with that when they were trying to figure out who the Stig was. So it's pretty neat. But again, glad to have you back. Glad to see you send it and getting back into victory lane.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Goody, and all you guys for doing the broadcast, and thank you so much, Vic. And I'll say one more thing before I go here. I know I'm talking way too much, but I know you kind of said something about hopefully seeing me later, more this season, Goody, and me and my buddy, the one I was just talking about earlier that I go to college with, and I think we're going to try and field 2 cars here, so all goes well.
Ooh, that should be fun. We're looking forward to seeing you guys on track. More the merrier.
Before you go.
cereal.
Crunchy cereal or soggy cereal?
Crunchy all the way. And you got to put the milk second. You got to put the cereal in first.
Oh, of course.
Yep.
Thank
you.
Yes,
The only time the milk is in there first is after you had like the first bowl and there's milk
like
left
seconds.
over. Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
No, but it's rough when you get to the bottom and it's all soggy.
Yeah,
I love that, dude.
You're a weirdo, man.
Yeah, it's messed up.
I'm not. Nobody accused me of being normal. Okay.
Yeah,
That's
we
fair.
certainly knew that one.
Love you, buddy.
Love you too.
Thank
man.
you for showing up tonight.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you. That was fun.
That was really fun.
Shane DiMantova, Kevin Malone, the Stig. And we'll send him out. And then next up, we'll bring up Joe Francis coming in home third in half number 2. And Joe, it looked like you had some pretty solid speed in that number 25 machine, Shift Esports machine. Didn't have quite the luck in that mayhem towards the end of half number 1, but kind of slowly, methodically worked your way up and ended up with the 3rd place finish here in half number 2. Talk us through your night a little bit.
Yeah, the first race, it was a little bit of crap luck towards the end, but I mean, it just is what it is when you have guys on older tires right in front of some guys with fresher tires. There's going to be a little bit of chaos. I mean, you just kind of along for the ride at that point. So the first race was kind of a throwaway, even though it felt pretty fast. I actually felt a little bit faster than the first one. I don't know if the conditions were much different, but I felt a little bit better there. Especially going into the second race, considering I was starting 15th, I was worried about being in the back a little bit. And luckily, it didn't feel like the dirty air was too bad. It felt like being behind the crowd was still about the same as being behind one car, so I felt like I could still run my line fairly well. But just kind of went with the flow and kind of let some other chaos happen and passed cars when I could. And just kind of ended up third. And I apologize to Ryan. It's like I got loose in that corner, and I didn't mean to come down and hit him, but it just is what it is when we're going all out towards the end. And I'm glad I finished third, but I still apologize to him.
Yeah, it looked like just hard racing right there towards the end, but still able to hang on, get that good run, and the way the chaos kind of happened with everybody, with this 3rd place finish, I think kick off the season. That's got to be a pretty good start to your season. But next week we head to Montreal. What are you thinking of your chances going to the road course of this high horsepower machine?
I'd like to say I'm above average, but not high enough to be the quickest guy there, because you always have like guys like Cameron that's going to be super fast. It seems like he's good just about everywhere, and got high hopes for Gavin next week because he's kind of the road course ace on our team. But
he needs better luck, that's for sure.
Yeah, he needs a little
may
bit
have a
better
ringer
luck.
next week.
Yeah, he deserves a better finish than what he gets sometimes. He just runs into a wall of bad luck. Even me, sometimes I ran over him a couple times in our last league, but yeah, that just kind of sucks. But hopefully we're looking up next week. I think he can get a good finish. I feel like I might be able to finish top half, but I don't think I've raced on the road with most of these guys in this league, but still feels fairly clean in this league, so I feel pretty good about it. Gosh, I cannot talk now, this is dry. Feel pretty good about it.
Yeah, well, best luck to you next week too, but we do have your shout-outs in a second. But Adam, do you have anything for Joe?
I just wanted to know what it was like, driving from the back to the front. I mean, we saw it was hard to pass, but obviously, you and Damien and Vince and Lutz and those guys were able to do it. So, what was it like? How patient did you have to be? Just kind of give me an overview of what it was like.
I think Damien came back from a little bit further than I did, so he might have a better perspective on that, but I don't think I blew my way through the field. I just felt like I was methodically working my way up, getting by guys when I could, because I'm never good on the short run. I'm just not really burning my tires up, but I don't feel like I can get as much out of the car as some other guys can on the short run. So I just kind of have to, like I said, go with the flow and just get around the guys methodically. Luckily enough, I was able to just kind of stay with the pack and gain positions on pit road and just have good luck on restarts, and it's mostly fortunate that way. I don't think I was able to really push my way up towards the front like I wanted to, but I think I just got fortunate most of the time.
Yeah, you ended up there, man. It was fun to watch. Congrats.
Appreciate it.
Now with that, any shout-outs you want to give?
Just shout-outs to the team: Gavin, Gil, Seth for bringing me on, and Nick for hanging out with us. Crap, he was in the race too. Sorry, Nick.
He had an unfortunate rough night. But hold on, Vic, before you ask your question, I have one for you. My boy Seth Rawls paints your cars. Why is there not barbecue chips on that car?
Because I wanted to put my actual business on the car for it.
Oh, that's fair. Okay.
Look at my hood. It's numbers by Joe. It's my personal business. If you got a favorite number you run in iRacing, I can turn it into a plaque you can hang on the wall. I can make them pretty nice. Feel free to ask Cameron about his number, because I just made him one.
See, I gave you a shout out too during the broadcast just to let you know.
I always appreciate you, Goody.
All right, without further ado, now you got the hardest question of the night. I think Vic.
Yeah. So cereal, do you like it crunchy or soggy?
Cereal? I prefer soggy. A little bit more on the soggy side, but not to the point where it just turns into mush.
See,
Yeah,
I'm not completely weird.
Yeah, not totally. You're still overly weird, but yeah, not completely. Fair enough. But all right, with that, Joe, congratulations on a top 3 run here in half number 2, and we'll hope to talk to you next week after Montreal.
I doubt it, but I appreciate it.
Hey, you never know. Well, either way, even if you wreck, you Infield Care Center. That's what it's there for.
I'll probably be there, one way or another.
All right, sounds good. Good run again tonight, Joe.
Appreciate it. Don't tell Gerald, but I like you better.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, mum's the word on that. That's Joe Francis coming home in the 3rd position. Next up, I'm letting you take it over, Adam. Here you got the 2nd place finisher of Damien Leinemann.
Hey, Damien. Congrats on your 2nd place finish tonight. I asked Joe this kind of to end the last one, so I kind of want to know now from you. He said you were back a little bit further than him. What was it like driving through the field? How patient did you really have to be with tire saving or strategy to get back up there? Because, I mean, you guys drove from pretty deep to finish where y'all were.
Yeah, so, when we had that caution that I think it was right on the border, like, we could make it probably 20 or 21 laps on fuel, and I think the caution came out with like 23 or 24 to go. So when everyone pitted, I came back down and I basically topped off, and we were running like half throttle, just clutching it. And I think we were about 2 more laps, we would have been good to make it to the end. And we had that caution come out, and I think I was 20th or 19th or something. Or no, I was 15th, and then I came out 19th. And it was really just about like capitalizing on the restarts, and then trying to be aggressive and make the moves when you could, but not be over aggressive with it. Everyone is. This car is a handful, and if you overdrive it, especially here at Indy, you can't turn. Just go straight up to the wall. So you got to be super patient and try and set your runs up for the long straights, which I was able to do pretty well, and it worked out. And I think I worked up to 7th before we had that other caution with Lutz there, and then I was able to capitalize on the restart and drive a little bit aggressive on the green white checkers. But it was a lot of fun. I mean, I said in the preseason show, like, this car was the car that when I first joined iRacing that we had, and it takes a lot of being easy on the tires, easy on the throttle, not spinning the tires a lot. And I felt like that was probably something that helped me on that run and having to get through the field, just being aggressive on the passing into the corner, but also being not so aggressive on the exit of the corner so you burn your stuff up or get sideways.
Something else I noticed tonight too that I don't think we necessarily had with the car that we ran last season was the tire game and how that came into play, where you could visually see the people that were running hard at the beginning of a run versus guys who would save, and there would always be this moment within a green flag run where the comers and goers were kind of merging, and it had some very exciting racing of 2 wide, 3 rows deep of guys on old tires going backwards and guys on new tires going forward. So I really think that we're headed in the right direction with the car. So are you enjoying it going this way, or do you like it when it's more everybody's on top of each other? Or are you really enjoying this to where you have to take care of your stuff and you've got to be methodical of how you actually drive the car?
No, I think I definitely. I mean, the Xfinity car is one of my favorites, but it feels like everyone has that figured out right now. Where everyone's kind of close on top of each other. That this is a different perspective, and I feel like this car is widely more accepted than maybe the COT car, and a lot of people are jumping to the Gen 4 car, but even then that's a little bit different. This car, it takes such little finesse, or it takes such finesse to it, and the margin is minimal between overstepping and being just right on the fine line. I felt I was super aggressive in the beginning of the run, and I burned up my right front. But here, especially, it's more of a track position track. So I think I maybe fell back 2 or 3 spots after my initial charge up to the front. So I don't know if we saw the full advantage of what a tire strategy can do in this car here tonight. It is also going to be a little weird because of the way we don't run so much fuel in the car to where you get enough of a long green flag run where it really penalizes the people. Like I said, tonight we were making it like 20 laps on a tank of fuel. I didn't start feeling the fall off until lap 13 to 14. And then, at that point it's like, okay, well, you're already starting to look to pit anyways. So, if there was maybe a little bit either longer on the fuel there to where the tire strategy really kind of came in a little bit more, but also don't think that Indy was a great place overall, even though we did have green flag runs. It's such of a track position track that I don't know if you saw the full advantage totally of what tire wear can do in these cars.
Good to know. I enjoyed it. It was a great race to watch, and I'm actually really excited to be up here watching. So, Goody, Vic, you got any questions for Damien here?
Before you ask the question of the night, I guess looking forward, again, maybe to give you a little perspective on what you think of Montreal next week in these high horsepower Gen 6 cars, and even I guess looking forward to seeing it. And I know, Damien, with this car kind of suiting your style and maybe the different styles of racing that we will see, especially when we get to the tracks like Michigan coming up in a few weeks, Chicagoland I think was on there, Vegas. on the track as well. We'll see those 1.5-mile tracks with guys, hugging the bottom, guys being able to rip the top. I think you're always the guy that loved to run it close to the wall if you can, need be. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. But talk us through what you're looking forward to the most going through the season with that, and even next week at Montreal.
Yeah, so I love road tracks. I think you're going to see a really, really fun race with these cars. It's going to be a lot of out of control. The wheel hop is massive in these cars if you mess up. I was completely sideways on 2 or 3 times tonight just because the brakes are so sensitive and where you run them at. Montreal, it's not really made for stock cars, but I think it's a fun track nonetheless. I think we can have a good race there, and I think you'll see some good battles. And a lot of tight corners where you're going to see people miss their braking points because some blind corners and just some really sharp 90s that, bring in a lot of, they're kind of blind, so it brings in a lot of room for error, I should say. Moving forward through the rest of the schedule, I mean, the schedule is one of the big points for making me come back. I had kind of talked to Vic beforehand, before last season, and told him like, hey, I probably won't come back just in general. Like, I don't know. And then, he brought this car back, and then the schedule, and I looked at it and I was like, man, this is a lot. There's a lot of fun races on here. I'm going to be interested to see how some of these tracks, if we're able to go up and use the top lane or the middle lane, like we've been able to in the new cars. I'm not sure if this tire model on this car will fully accept that. It's going to be something because it is legacy, so they haven't updated that. That will be fascinating to see if people can make that work. I've always loved banging the boards if you can make it. It's not usually the best or the fastest way, but it's the funnest way. But overall, I think you're going to see some really exciting races. That the dirt race is one that I cannot wait to see how these cars handle on that. The road tracks, obviously the plate tracks, we know what we can do there. And then, being a short track guy at heart, I think that you could see the potential for some fascinating races with these cars, the power output, the having to have the egg under the throttle, and the tire wear that you get at certain places. And if we do get cautions at certain times, people pitting and not pitting, you'll see a lot of different strategies in those. So overall, I'm looking forward to it. It's a good way to start the season off here, and I'm just can't wait to get to Montreal.
Should be fun, Vic. I think. Well, maybe shout outs first, and then we have Vic give the question to. Any shout outs you want to give?
Yeah, so first of all, I want to thank Nate and Traders Brewing Company. Nate is a friend of mine, and we play in a fantasy baseball league together. This is a brewing company that he has. I believe it's in the Indianapolis area. He basically came to me and was like, hey, do you want to come and run this year? They sponsored a car last year. I think it was Home Place Beer. And then I think Traders was some of it too, but maybe not Home Place. Shout out to that one too. But so we worked through a couple things to allow me to come back and race. So I can't thank Nate enough for the opportunity here. And I think we made a sick looking car. We went through like 70 different schemes before we settled on this one. So Batflip Podcast is a baseball podcast. You can find it on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, any of your podcast platforms. Weekly podcast. And just going over everything that happens in baseball. There was a big brawl this last week, so if you want to go hear about that and somebody getting knocked out on the baseball field, which doesn't really happen, we're your place for that. And then Vic for giving us this league to race in. Like I said, I've had many conversations with him before, the do's and the don'ts about it, and I think he's made a fun place for us to come and have an enjoyable racing experience, but not over the top and not so serious where it turns you off. But he's also able to be serious and be stern in certain situations. So I think he's done a great job with it. So shout out to him and everyone behind the scenes that puts on this work. And obviously you guys for doing this broadcast. And hopefully, based on my finish here in the second race, nobody picked me.
Yep, no one picked you. You're right.
Yes.
Wish I would have now.
No.
You don't have the duck on the car, so I will.
All right, so final question before we let you go is it's question of the night, and it's cereal soggy or crunchy?
Oh, it depends on the cereal.
No, just in general. Come on.
No, it depends. Like if you get frosted like Wheat Thins, or like that. Like you gotta let the milk soak into them a little bit.
See, that's what I said.
If
Boom,
you
thank
get
you.
those,
Yep.
you gotta let it soak in. Now, if you got like fruity pebbles, like there's nothing worse than a soggy fruity pebble.
Yep, he's right.
Like it just depends on the cereal. Like most of the cereals you want crunchy, but you get like frosted mini wheats or something like that. Like you gotta let the milk soak in a little bit.
You know, with that, Damien, I will share a bowl of cereal with you anytime.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, again, good. Congratulations on a good run, and can't wait to see what you can do next week at Montreal.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. One thing can I say?
Yeah.
Shout out to all my South Shore guys. We had some good runs going, and it didn't end up paying off here. And then I had Luke on the box, Hank Steinmiller. I forgot to shout him out in the pre-season video, and he was not happy about that. So Luke, thanks for being up on the box and helping me get a P2 here.
Yeah, and I apologize. I assumed you were teammates with Lutz because I know that happens a lot. But so yeah, I said rack racing earlier. So yes, South Shore. So thank you for correcting me there too.
Yeah, there was going to be a teammate there, but it didn't end up happening the right way. But still was in the chat with us, so obviously still with Lutzy Boy.
All right, bad boy Lutz. But all right, again, thank you, Damien. And without further ado, we'll get in our race winner, waiting patiently here. I think he's got the champagne on him. He's already still sticky, and champagne might be dried up. But thanks for waiting with us, Cameron here. But man, you didn't wait long in both halves. You had to come over some adversity and work your way up through the field. And of course, in half number one, it didn't quite end the way you wanted it to, but certainly had probably the fastest car all night long and able to get the win here tonight. Kind of give us an overview of your perspective.
The first race, the Cox Cable came out swinging, and last time I was on here 3OI TV, they sure came out swinging there too. So I want to thank them for absolutely dropping the ball, and more than anything. So that was pretty cool. But it was fun. I mean, it was an opportunity for a last first challenge in the first race, which is always fun. Sometimes never really. I don't know. But yeah, we were able to get to the field pretty quickly, and I don't think I hit Ryan. I think he was wrecking on his own, and we just kind of wrecked, and there was some words, and we're over it. I honestly think me and that 36 are gonna be racing a lot this year, so it is what it is. We're gonna have to get over it and get on with our lives. So we had a good race in the second half, I think, and he was in some trouble there at the end. But I don't know. I started so back in the second half, it kind of felt like a shadow of the first half a little bit. But we got really strung out there, and I think there was just some faster guys kind of positioned at the front quicker in the first race, so we were able to like string out a little bit, and then the cautions came, and I didn't really know what was going to happen there at the very end because it seemed like the cautions were just going to keep coming, and I didn't know if people had tires or what, and yeah, just happy to come home with the win.
And again, I think we were talking with Damien. He said it seemed like the tire fall off seemed to happen maybe a little bit later in the run, around maybe about 14 laps. So, on those final restarts, again, you talk about the little concern not knowing what's behind you, but how big of a difference would it have been if someone maybe restarted back in like the 5th, 6th, 7th spot with fresh tires with you guys on the older tires?
I don't really know. Probably it would have probably taken a couple laps for it to show. I think in the first race, the guy that won stayed out, or I think he pitted and then the caution came out, and he was able to capitalize on that. So maybe it would have been a little bit different because we were on pretty old tires, but it was honestly pretty hard to pass in the restarts too because everybody was kind of packed up, and yeah, it was just kind of messy.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy, wild ways to finish, and at least from my perspective too, that racing between you and Lutz at the end of half number one, just it was just a glob, a mess of cars, and I think it was going to be hard to stay off each other there. So I don't think there's anything to hang your hat off or be mad at anyone else for either. It's just kind of the product of the racing on a close to the finish restart. But with that, Adam, do you have anything for Cameron?
Yeah, I just kind of wanted to touch on that hard racing again. Like, I made the comment that you guys knew that it was going to be the first ones to kind of clear some of that those guys who were on like older tires and stuff. How much did that really come into mind when you were like racing against Lutz and those other guys of you have to get in front of them now, or were you just thinking, okay, well, I'll let them race it out, let them use their stuff up, and then I'll go buy them? Like, what was your mindset when you knew those were the 3 guys or 2 guys that you were going to be racing, but y'all seemed to always be around each other the entire race, no matter where you were at?
Yeah, I think when I looked at the laps ago, I think it was like 12 laps ago or something, maybe 13, 12, 11 or something like that. So definitely it was kind of a more so fact of Lutz is going to be fast every race. We know that, and I have a lot of respect for him. And I know he races hard. I know that he will stuff it in there when there's not a hole. And I get that, and I will also race him the same way. So that's what happened. I stuffed it in there when there was a hole, just barely. My car was touching the grass, and then he slid up, and there was no longer holes there. But I think we both kind of understand how we're gonna race each other, and that's fine. I would rather race somebody hard and know that they're gonna race me back hard than them be like unpredictable or something, like 10 times out of 10. So, I think it was just hard racing, and sometimes shit happens.
Yeah, that it
Fair
does.
enough.
Yeah. But with that, next week again going to Montreal, we've seen you fast on road courses before, but a little bit different of a situation. What's kind of your outlook heading into next week?
Oh, I love the road courses. So, let's try to go out there and get 2 more wins in the season. If we can rack up the wins early, it kind of takes the pressure off later in the season. Because honestly, my work schedule, sometimes it just gets a little hectic and it makes these races a little hard to attend. But I definitely do my best to try to accommodate that. So I like to get the wins off early in the season so that I don't have to worry about that too much later on. And so if I can get at least 1 at Montreal, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I think you'll be one of the favorites to do so next week for sure. But before we let you go, we do have your opportunity for shoutouts, and Vic will have the question of the day.
All right, yeah.
So shoutouts, yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to shout out you guys at 3Y TV, my team owner and owner of 3Y TV, Mr. Carlos Costa.
Whoop, whoop.
And I want to shout out Eisen Designs on my car. The rainbow is always beautiful, always great to look at.
Yeah, that's always a sick scheme. Love it.
And my wife, who's always in chat, and I love you.
That's all. Well, you gotta end it with the wife. I was just saying you can't follow up that. But Vic, without further ado,
Cereal, crunchy or soggy?
I like it in the middle. Is that an option? I like when you put the milk in, like you put the milk in and then it sits for about like 3 minutes or so, and then you can just eat it like that.
Well, 3 minutes. A lifetime.
That seems a little long, but
yeah, I don't have. I don't have all day. Yeah, okay, we're getting closer.
That's okay.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Milk first or second?
Oh yeah.
Second always.
Thank you.
I was gonna say there's only one right answer to that.
Yeah, that's like which way the toilet paper roll goes, Maybe that's next week's question. I don't know. But I feel like there's only one way to answer that question. But again, congratulations again, Cameron. Hopefully we'll see you in victory lane again next week at Montreal.
Thanks, Des. You have a good night.
Yeah, you too. That was Cameron Rich, winner of half number 1. But Adam, I think tonight to kick off the 2023B Weekend Woodsman Series season, it was, I think we had a little bit of everything. We had clean racing, we got long green flag runs, and we had the chaos as well. And, maybe some surprise winners by surprise drivers.
Shenanigans.
And again, shenanigans going on.
Mental warfare.
Yeah, happening on the track, off the track, up here in the booth. It's a good way to kick off the season. Can't wait for this thing to get underway, man. Let's go get it.
Yeah, I think I picked a hell of a season to come up here, huh? I think this is gonna work out just about perfect. So I'm along for the crazy ride.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun ride, and glad to have you join us up here with it. And yeah, I'm looking forward to every step of the way. But until next time. Again, you can join us next Thursday right here, same time, same channel. As we head to Montreal, should be a fun one for Adam, Carlos, Vic, and myself. Thank you all for tuning in to tonight's race. We'll see you all next time. Until then, good night now.